6:05, I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Good morning, Carl, the intern. Good morning, Rose.
Good morning, McGraw.
You know, if you think swimming with the dolphins is expensive, you should try swimming with the sharks. It cost my friend an arm and a leg.
Good Shark Tank joke.
Mr. Beast is going to be a guest host this year.
Who is?
Mr. Beast, he's a YouTuber that gives away a lot of money, but he's going to be a shark this year because they're looking for new sharks because Mr. Cuban is gone.
Yeah. This guy just gives away money for the heck of it?
He's kind of an exhibitionist. He makes people do stuff for money.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He had a show on Amazon.
Shark Tank might have jumped the shark.
So to speak. You think when Cuban left, that was...
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
You interviewed... Who'd you interview?
Mr.
Robert.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Mr. Wonderful.
Not Robert. Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah. All right, 6:06 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's... lots going on. You heard top of the hour news. You heard Sherry. Graham Plattner suspends his bid for the United States Senate. Stephen Portnoy has got that story. That collective sigh is Democrats saying, "Oh, thank goodness, we don't have to put up with this, and we can put another candidate and try and beat back Susan Collins." So Stephen Portnoy's got that. Jordana Miller's in Jerusalem. The latest from the Middle East. President Trump saying he's done with Iran. He's done talking. What does that mean exactly? And what does that mean for Israel? Jordana's got that story at 6:50. Peter Harlambous is going to be joining us. There's a new program that is allowing gas stations to sell gas prices at $3.47 a gallon. Yesterday I filled up, it was like $3.49. So I know other places, other states have higher gas prices. But we'll get into this with this. They're calling it the Freedom Fuel Network. Peter Harlambous has got that story for us at 7:35. Brad Garrett's going to be joining us. He's got a new crime targeting children in North America, and of course we need to pay attention to that. We have an anti-data center, St. Louisan, who's also running for St. Louis City license collector. I don't really know what that does in the city of St. Louis. Do they collect licenses?
And that's an elected position.
Yes.
I have to do my homework.
Yes.
You've probably voted for this.
You need to find out what he thinks about where transgender people should go to the bathroom before you vote for the St. Louis City license collector.
What's his previous licensing collecting experience?
Is he a Republican or a Democrat?
Well, it's the city, so he's a Democrat.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, so he's one of those liberal license collectors.
And what licenses?
He's one of those woke license collectors.
What kind of licenses are we talking about?
A lot of them. Collects the licenses. And at the end of the night, he gives them back. I guess. I don't know. What does the license collector do?
He checks IDs at bars.
You're good.
Yeah, and we don't need to overhaul government. But
Right.
Be that as it may, we'll ask him when he comes in here. Dylan Hassinger is also officially requested a hearing, right? He thinks that these data centers are a really bad idea. So we'll talk to him at 8:05. Is he going to be here in studio?
No, he's going to be on the phone.
Of course, he's busy campaigning.
Well, you're a campaign stop via phone.
He has a huge fundraiser.
I know, when's a big fundraising dinner? $800 a plate.
Antonio French is going to join us at 8:20. Frank Cusimano is going to join us at 8:35. Cardinals bounced back last night. That was a nice win.
Yeah.
McGreevy pitched well on his birthday, so that was nice. And we'll take phone calls in the 9 o'clock hour. You get all that. You get all that in a bag of chips. So we today, can I say something on the air?
I don't know. There wasn't an email about it.
Yeah,
so.
I'm going to say something. No, I'm going to say something. Because he was such a nice man. We got some sad news yesterday here at the Big 550 KTRS. One of our salespeople has been here a good 5 years or so. I met him before he ever started working here. And he started working here and was right next to my cubicle. And we chat about all sorts of things. He's always asking about Emerson. But a salesperson, Tom McIntyre, passed away here yesterday. We got word yesterday, just as we were walking off the air. And it's just a nice man. And a lovely, lovely wife, Marilyn. And we got word yesterday that he passed away. We don't know much other than he wasn't feeling well on whatever day it was, Monday or Tuesday. And, took the day off. And the management said, get better and take your time and do what you got to do. And went to sleep and just never woke up. So we would like to, at least we can do is send a good thoughts and good cheer to his family and friends. And just say he was a lovely man and always made our lives a little bit brighter every time he walked into the room. Always had a smile, always had a story, always complimentary. Just a very, very, very sweet man, and very sad. So we're dealing with heavy hearts around here, and so we'd like to, at least we can do is dedicate today's show to Tom McIntyre, who I believe was 74 years old. So he leaves a great legacy and a job well done, Tom. We'll see you on the other side, but thank you for everything, and we wish you well and Godspeed. 6:12 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky, you're in the St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, the early morning slowdown on 270 north from Manchester to 64 has cleared. It's another day of construction in the Metro East. We have road work on 5570 east between Illinois 203 and Fairmont, and there's road work on 5570 west between 255 and Illinois 203. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch with your first alert forecast. We are in a first alert weather day once again this afternoon, as we are going to see the potential for some strong to severe storms from 2 p.m. lasting towards the overnight hours. So looking at the possibility of some strong winds as the primary threat, could see the possibility of some flooding, and yes, even a secondary threat of some large hail and a few isolated weak tornadoes. So we'll continue to keep you up to date with that information. Temperatures back towards the lower 90s today. More chances of showers and storms Friday, lasting into Saturday morning. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's talk Dents Express, because Dents Express is a wonderful company run by a wonderful family. And what they do is they fix your car. Dings, dents, scrapes, hail damage, minor collision, all of it. Dents Express will take care of. Maybe you were in the grocery store shopping parking lot, and some idiot didn't return the cart to the corral, and you got a nice little big old dent in the side of your car. Well, guess what? Dents Express can take care of that. The only thing they ask is that you make an appointment. That's how busy they are. That's how well-respected they are. They've been a sponsor here on the show for a number of years, and their business is really, really taken off because the word is out after 30 years, right? After 30 years, they're an overnight success. The word's out that this is your go-to for all of your dings and dents and minor collision and everything else. They specialize in paintless dent removal, hail damage, and minor collision. 2 locations in Baldwin on Manchester Road, and then in St. Charles, right off of Highway 94. The only thing they ask is that you make an appointment. Once you make the appointment, bring the car in. They'll work with the insurance company. The technicians have been there for years and years and years. 13, 14 years was their last time they hired an electrician. Once they're hired, once they have the skill, they don't leave because they're treated well by the family. They're taken care of, and if they know what they're doing, right, they're worth their weight in gold. That's why you get such great service at Dents Express, because the expertise is right there to fix your car. So, Dents Express, make an appointment. DentsExpressSTL.com.
Summer is here. Time to relax with friends and family. Vacations, barbecues, pool days. But for thousands of our neighbors in the St. Louis area, hunger doesn't take a vacation. Mental health struggles don't pause for summer break. And for those experiencing homelessness, every day is still about finding safety, food, shelter, and hope. At Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis, we're here all year long, helping families put meals on the table, supporting those in crisis, and walking alongside our most vulnerable neighbors. But Catholic Charities can't do it without you. This summer, while you're making memories, help someone else find hope. Visit ccstl.org and make your gift today. That's ccstl.org. Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis. Compassion never takes a vacation. ccstl.org.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
It's the GOAT, the greatest of all trade-in events at HW Kia. Bring your trade now and get up to $5,000 over book value for it. If your trade is old, tired, stinky, or being held together by duct tape and a prayer, HW Kia wants it. Paid off or not, bring that old goat in to HW Kia. Then drive home a new HW Kia K4 for just $189 a month. Yes, only $189 a month on a 24-month lease. It's the HW Kia GOAT event. The greatest of all trade-in events. Get up to $5,000 over book value for your trade now. New K4, just $189 a month. HW Kia in the heart of West County on Manchester Road. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in an HW Kia. Start now at hwkia.com. With approved credit to well-qualified buyers through Kia Finance. 2026 K4, $36.95 to its signing. Discount includes $850 in lease cash. 10,000 miles per year. No security deposit. Plus tax, title, license, and admin fee expires 7/31/26.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Dan Lang with Carter Pet Hospital, inviting you to join me every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. with the Animal Advice Show. We'll talk about everything regarding dogs, cats, and other domestic animals. We'll discuss nutrition, training, regular checkups, invite special guests, and of course, answer your questions. Join us every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. for the Animal Advice Show on the Big 550 KTRS, the Animal Talk of St. Louis.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Okay, listen to this story. This is why I don't allow Emerson's picture online. This is why you have to truly ask yourself if artificial intelligence is we mentioned this yesterday, Rose, and I'll bring it up. You really have to ask yourself if AI is really going to revolutionize the world and if they're ever really going to make any money off of AI. Because Facebook announced this week a new AI image generator called Muse. Okay? So we're building all these data centers, and everyone's running around with their running around complaining, and the other half of the country is running around saying this is going to change the world for the greatest thing in the world. And Facebook has put all of their energies and all of their resources and all of their brilliant minds to unveil a new app called Muse. And what does Muse do? Muse allows anyone using it to take pictures off of any Instagram user's account or public profile account and manipulate the picture. Okay?
Anything you post yourself.
Yes. Okay. Funny. Hilarious.
I'm a meme.
Right. They created a meme generator. And taking people's pictures that they post on Instagram and manipulating them. Now, somebody needs to explain to me how that's going to generate the trillions and billions of dollars they're spending to build out artificial intelligence. I mean, it's an easier way to Photoshop. I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get it. And they keep talking about how this is going to revolutionize the world. Is this the first step into then figuring out the cures for cancer? I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get it. Now, we should say that if you want to, since Facebook so cares about our privacy, again, the reason 1A why I don't allow Emerson's picture on the internet, because you can take those pictures and manipulate them, not to make a funny meme, but to do some disgustingly terrible things to these pictures, which people are doing all over the world. You can, by the way, you can opt out of this if you want to.
I'm doing it right now.
You can go to your Instagram account, and you apparently, to stop creepy people from taking your pictures off your Instagram account, you must go to the settings on the on Muse, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, Instagram. Those are all Facebook apps, and you have to change the setting to private.
So, that's one way to do it. Or you go to the little face, and then you go to the three lines.
Yeah,
and then you go to settings, which is down near, of course, the bottom.
Yeah, this can't be any easier.
I have a much better idea.
Don't be on.
Delete your account. Get off of social media. I mean, I don't know how else to get off of social media.
I hear you.
The next step is go to sharing and reuse.
Mm-hmm.
And then about halfway down the page, there is a thing that says, allow people to create and reuse your original Instagram and AI features at Meta.
Yeah.
Turn that off.
Turn that off. It's as simple as that.
So 4 steps.
Yes.
And then there's also one for audio. So like they can take your voice too.
Oh, right.
So you have to turn them both off.
How many steps does it take to delete your account?
That's 10.
Just remember, Facebook is destroying society as we know it, creating an alternate universe, making billions off it, and destroying everything we've built up over the last 250 years. And everyone's okay with that. It is crazy. And this is the argument I make against artificial intelligence. Okay, I get that there are uses for it when it comes to medicine or engineering, or I guess there are applications for this that make sense. But this one's not one of them. And how is Facebook going to make all of their money back from all of these data centers and everything else by creating an app which makes funny cat videos and or pornography?
Because that's what seems to be driving people these days.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a brilliant marketing plan. People are going to pay for it.
But I mean, is everyone going to run to this thing and pay $20 a month for this thing? I don't get it. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Facebook got into trouble. They had to pay $5 billion because they allowed Cambridge Analytica to access the data of millions of Facebook users during the 2016 presidential election. They had to shut down its facial recognition system after facing lawsuits over its biometric data that it's collected. So it really is the Matrix, And we run like we just trip over ourselves going to Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp app and everything else so that we can give them our data so they can turn around and sell it and make billions. So I don't get it. But that's why we're building all these data centers. It seems like. Right? I mean, I don't see... I hear people say all the time, we use AI in our company. And I don't know if they're saying that just because they think they're supposed to say it, or maybe they allow AI to help rewrite an email to a boss. Okay, fine, I guess.
A lot of people use Copilot for that.
Okay, that's fine, I guess. But is that going to? And then other people, people say that you wouldn't believe the things it can do. I don't get it. I don't get it. But
I read an article yesterday that said a guy sent his AI. He's like, I got an email from my boss, and I knew it was AI, so I had my AI read it, and so his AI and his boss's AI were communicating with each other. So the boss and the employee were not really communicating; the computers were talking to each other.
Sounds perfect.
Do you remember when the commercials first kind of came out?
Wait. Can I do that with Mark Dorsey?
He'll just yell for you. You're outside his door.
Yeah.
Like when Common, the rapper, do you kind of remember, like, I'm just trying to think when this first started to come out, when they said AI, and I wasn't quite sure what it was, and it was very new, and I don't even know how long ago, like 5 or 6 years ago or whatever, but they were slowly, just talking about it and how it's the wave of the future and all this. It's just funny that now, like, I just remember this beginning thinking, like, I don't have any idea what this is, and now it's full steam ahead, I guess.
It's everywhere. It's because these people are spending billions.
Right.
And I don't necessarily think they're making any money off of it. They're spending billions and their stock is through the roof, but it's almost like...
Is it based on like projections or something?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it because I don't see where the money is going to come in to justify the spend on this stuff.
Well, NVIDIA is making money because they're the ones that make the chips to make that.
Okay, that's a great point. Like the gold rush in California, the people who went to California to find the gold never really got rich. The people who got rich were the people who sold the supplies
in the trains
to the people who were going to find the gold. It was the people who sold the pants, Levi Strauss, the people who sold the pickaxes, people who sold them food, the people who sold them the covered wagons. All those people made the money. The people that went and found the gold didn't really find a whole lot of gold, or there's one or two people might have won the gold, but everybody else.
That's true.
So, yes, NVIDIA is making money because they're selling the chips. So great, they're a great chip company. But in terms of building out these AI models, I've talked to a number of, I don't know if it's Gen Yers or Gen Zers who are saying that I've been offered numerous jobs to train the company's AI to take my job. And there's sort of this backlash, like, no, I won't train the machine to take my job. So it's a crazy world out there. But nice to know that Facebook has created Muse. But for those who don't want your pictures manipulated by creepy strangers in, Bulgaria, make sure you turn it off on your Instagram account and tell them not to use it, because that'll stop them.
Well, what happened to the whole, the medical aspect of it, like sniffing out tumors and stuff, like the
They're
stuff
still
that
doing
could
that.
really be awesome, right? So that alone would justify. You know what I mean? I'd be like, if that needs a data center, bring it on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're right. Like, that's a good. Like, if we're supporting Muse and pornography, then yeah, not so much. But I mean, if we're gonna revolutionize medical, then build all the data centers you want. Right. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you got to have a more
They're this close to curing osteoarthritis.
Right?
So
build all the data centers in the world. Right? Keep them coming.
Right.
Let's cure everything.
Well,
that's all
Is there a way to do both? Is there a way to curtail child pornography on all the apps that are on our phones, and then having some guardrails to say, okay, medical people, here's this great machine, go and use it for its intent. We've done it before.
Right.
Save us, don't destroy us.
Right, yeah. Miller Furniture, Mueller. Miller Furniture has 4 area locations. They're coming up on their 100th anniversary. The Miller Furniture family has a wonderful St. Louis family. They're originally from Belleville. They started their store in Belleville for years, and they've recently expanded quite nicely and quite exponentially here over the last couple of years. Fairview Heights in Illinois is one of their locations across the street from the mall. And then they've got Lake St. Louis and then Ellisville. And then, of course, don't forget the store in Belleville. They have American-made quality furniture, all the name brands you hear and know. They've got wonderful Amish furniture, beautiful Stickley selection over there in Fairview Heights. Always same as cash financing. They've got great financing deals, great financing partners. They have wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people who drop off and pick up and deliver and move and change and everything else. Wonderful interior designers. They don't have salespeople. They have interior designers. So if you're looking for furniture, yeah, you can go on your phone and get something ordered from Bangladesh. It comes with an Allen wrench. You can put it together, or real American-made furniture that will last. Miller, Mueller, MillerFurniture.com. Captain Paul, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, no delays yet on 270 north from South County to Town and Country. It takes just 10 minutes to travel from 270 and 55 up to Manchester. It's a 9-minute ride from US 67 in Alton down to 270 and 7 minutes from 170 and St. Charles Rock Road to 64. It's another day of construction in the Metro East. We have road work on 5570 east between Illinois 203 and Fairmont, and there's road work on 5570 west between 255 and Illinois 203. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
76 degrees right now. We've got going all the way up to a high of 88. And again, more of a carbon copy of yesterday. Man, yesterday it was brutal. Stray thunderstorm or two along the way today. Heat indices, humidity up around 70. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy skies, scattered thunderstorms during the evening. Potential for some severe thunderstorms. After all this heat and humidity, yeah, something's going to come through. Low overnight of 71. Friday, again, 87 the high with heat indices and humidity up over 70%. And then Saturday, they've called off a lot of this rain. Again, high of 85, but humidity quite high as well. So we are in a pattern. 76 degrees right now at 6:33. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
The United States has launched new airstrikes against Iran, and Tehran responded by targeting Gulf countries. The exchange of fire threatened an interim deal intended to help end the war in the Middle East. New suspected Ebola cases have been reported in previously unaffected parts of Congo. According to the government, the death toll in the latest outbreak has reached 600. In local headlines, the city of Webster Groves plans to sue a fireworks company after a last-minute cancellation for the 4th of July. The city council voted to file a lawsuit against Pyrotechnics, which had been contracted to produce the fireworks show at Memorial Park. And former Missouri Governor Jay Nixon is helping Greene County reenact a historical moment from 1776. Nixon visited the Greene County Courthouse yesterday to read the Declaration of Independence aloud. Nixon is a descendant of Colonel John Nixon, who was the first person to read the Declaration to a public audience 250 years ago. 74 degrees. Time now is 6:34. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Your yard, your workday, your John Deere. At Side & Sugar Nobe Partners, get the mowing power you need with low financing options on John Deere Zero Turns. For a limited time, choose 0% financing for 36 months or 1.9% financing for 60 months on Z700, Z900, and Quick Track commercial mowers. Plus, get additional cash off select mowers. Side & Sugar Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 6/1/2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
For the last 33 years, we've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is, who do I hire? At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call or visit bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
Your retirement isn't just numbers on a statement. It's your family, your time, and your future. Listen to the Financial Safari with Greg Belger. Sundays at 5 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
McGraw, live in the morning on KTRS.
Well, the final shoe dropped in the Graham Plattner story late last night after he released a video saying he was going to step down. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News national correspondent, got the whole story. It was late last night that he finally released the video, was it not, Stephen?
It was about 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock your time, 11 minutes. The former or outgoing candidate, direct to camera in a defiant statement saying that things that have been claimed did not happen, that the allegations against him are all false, and that the decision to suspend his campaign was effectively made for him by the party establishment, by donors, by the media, all of whom, he says, essentially collaborated to force his hand and force him from the running. He called it a system that is built structurally to make sure that movements like his cannot flourish. Not a contrite statement, not a statement that speaks of the anguish in the voices of the women who told their stories, but instead, woe is him and woe is his movement, as he's described it, which he says now should lead the way as Maine's Democratic Party intends to hold a convention to choose a new nominee to face off with Susan Collins in the fall.
Yeah, they only have 2 weeks to put on, and figure out who to put up, right?
They intend to hold something of a 600-person convention. They have 2 weeks from Monday. The 27th of July is the deadline under state law. And look, this is something they've never had to do before, but at least they met yesterday and decided that they're going to do this, which is a 600-person convention. There are about a half dozen candidates who have already put their hands up or are rumored to be in the running. And they're better known, of course, in the state of Maine than they are in either in Washington, D.C. or St. Louis or anywhere else in the country. So these will be candidates who will put themselves forward. It's obviously, the fractious nature of the Democratic Party is now on full display, moderates versus progressives. And Plattner made it clear in his demand that it had better go the way of the progressives or else. I don't know what he's going to do, except to say that, he believes strongly, and I'm sure his supporters do too, that, they ought not to put a moderate up there who's going to be, in their mind, towing the line of business interests. And he even spoke he used the phrase genocide in his video, which I suppose is a reference to Israel and its war against Hamas. So all of it is to say that this is very much a fascinating study in modern American politics. This guy, Graham Plattner, came to prominence about a year ago in Maine when he was basically plucked from obscurity. He had not really been active in Democratic politics in the state. He had served in the military. He had moved back to Maine, where he grew up. He was involved in an organizing effort to protect the bay where he has run a small business farming oysters. And the concern was that agribusiness interests were going to come in from Norway, believe it or not, and farm salmon in their bay where they farm oysters and lobster, and that would have been problematic. And so he fought against it successfully. And for that reason, political operatives identified Plattner, convinced him to run. And now there's a lot of backwards looking, armchair quarterbacking about the vetting process and who missed it, who didn't do a thorough enough job of looking at this man and seeing what personal peccadillos he may have in his past before they decided to organize a movement, as he describes it, to get behind him.
It is interesting that they are doing this convention because clearly they've heeded the warnings of the larger Joe Biden stepping away, handpicking Kamala Harris. That criticism clearly has stung the Democratic Party. That's why they're trying to have this convention.
The concern, I think, and it's not just in Maine in this process, but all across the country, and not just in the Democratic Party, is the idea that somebody else is going to decide who the candidate is. And, the political winds have shifted, both on the left and the right, in the direction of people power. And so, I guess the fear would be that, again, they'll choose some sort of career politician, someone who they would see as a safe pick, who wouldn't motivate the base because they wouldn't necessarily stand for those things that accelerate or otherwise activate the base. And these things would include, an expanded government spending on health care, right? They call it Medicare for all. And also, I guess, reduce support for Israel. And combined, you have a picture of, and along with a whole bunch of other things, a picture of the rift that's now existing on the left, where you have moderates who are saying, wait a minute, some of these things you're talking about are not particularly popular in the mainstream. They may be very popular on the left, but it could be harder to face off against a 6-term Republican incumbent who's been in the Senate for 30 years, who is, or I guess she's going for her 6th term now, someone who is well known and on the right is seen as someone who hardly represents the movement, the popular movement on the right.
Yeah, it's an interesting to watch. Stephen Portnoy, good stuff. ABC News.
You bet.
641, Big 550, KTRS. Hey, what are you doing Friday night? Friday night, there's a Christmas in July promotion, courtesy of the Big 550 KTRS. A great family night out. Come on out, Westport Plaza, having a movie night. It's a free showing of Disney's Cars. Face painting and concessions start at 6. Stage show at 7, and the movie will start about 7:45. So don't worry about the heat. As the sun will go down at 7:45, it'll be it's a nice night. It's nice once the sun goes down. So it's perfect timing to start the movie. You can help out Catholic Charities and the Archdiocese by bringing a new unwrapped toy or a non-perishable item for the families in need. This is all in conjunction with the KTRS Christmas in July program, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. For more information, this Friday night, Disney's Cars out here at Westport. Bring a new unwrapped toy or non-perishable item. Find out more, KTRS.com.
The tradition continues on Saturday, July 25th, when the Cardinals play the Cincinnati Reds. That day, you can take home the fan favorite Victory Blue jersey, just like the one the Cardinals wear every road Saturday, presented by Stiefel. It's a clean, classic look that stands out all season long. Available in medium and extra large while supplies last. Step into Saturday in Victory Blue. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Michael McGreevy. See you at Busch Stadium.
Hi, this is Jason Hughes with TR Hughes Homes, and we are currently offering half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs on brand new to-be-built homes at select TR Hughes communities. That's right, half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs. Visit trhughes.com for details. That's trhughes.com.
The choice of a home builder is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
However, you really should visit trhughes.com.
Got gold? Get green at Jewels on Hampton. Jewels on Hampton pays the most for your precious metals, jewelry, gems, currency, antiques, and collectibles. Jewels on Hampton buys precious and semi-precious gems and stones, scrap gold, and sterling silver. Jewels on Hampton buys and sells paper money, wristwatches, and pocket watches. They even take pianos and cars. To sum up, bring your gold chains, bracelets, rings, coins, dental gold, and more to Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton Avenue in St. Louis. And get green. Online at jewelsonhampton.com. Don't miss Straight Talk on Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Join this dynamic father-daughter duo every Saturday morning for an entertaining and intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing. From decades of financial planning expertise combined with a deep knowledge of healthcare benefits, Aaron and Jeff will give you the Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on the Big 550. KTRS.
The Big 550.
KTRS. St. Louis.
St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Let's take a look at your commute. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw volume is picking up on 270 north from 44 to Manchester, but it's still running at or near the speed limit. It takes 10 minutes to go from 270 and 55 up to Manchester, a 9-minute ride from 64 and McKnight to Jefferson, and just 7 minutes from 170 and St. Charles Rock Road down to 64. It's another day of construction in the Metro East. We have road work on 5570 East between Illinois 111 and Fairmount, and there's road work on 5570 West between 255 and Illinois 203. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
from the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk. Local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Hot and humid Thursday, high of 93, but it's a First Alert weather day because of a chance of a few storms in the afternoon to evening that could be severe. These may be hit and miss, but they can hit hard, so let's be weather aware for a severe storm afternoon to evening on Thursday. Friday, some scattered storms likely again, especially in the afternoon to evening with a high of 89. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Reese Nichols. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, it is not easy. And so that's why Reese Nichols is here to help. You may or may not have heard of the name. You see the billboards, you see the logos out and about, and you think, oh, there's a new company in town. Well, technically, it's just a new name. Same great agents, same great expertise. They just have under a different name. That's all. So what you need to do is go to reesenichols.com and see all the same great agents that you've come to know and love. They give you all the great information when buying or selling. It's as simple as that. And working in a market for 45 years, right? They know the ins and the outs, the ups and downs, the neighborhoods, the little the quirks in the neighborhood, the good things, the bad things, the things you're not even thinking about. And that's why they'll help you with staging and marketing and contracts and everything else. So if you're buying or selling, Reese Nichols or reesenichols.com.
Summer is a time to relax with friends and family. Vacations, barbecues, pool days, even movie nights. But for thousands of our neighbors in the St. Louis area, their struggles don't take a vacation. That's why all of us here at KTRS are partnering with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis for a Christmas in July promotion.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. We'll be co-hosting a family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 10th for a free viewing of Disney's Cars. Come out and enjoy the movie on the massive screen at Westport Plaza and bring an unwrapped toy or non-perishable item for Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis.
Whew, only 10 million more lists to go.
This summer, while you're making memories, help someone else find hope. Come out to the Westport Plaza movie night on July 10th or visit ccstl.org and make a donation today. It's the Royal Banks of Missouri Christmas in July promotion on the Big 550 KTRS.
Presented by AAA Home Services, T.R. Hughes Homes, Outdoor Living, and Neighbors Credit Union.
Are you looking to buy a new home, set money aside for college, or start planning for retirement? Royal Banks of Missouri is here to create a personalized savings strategy that works for you and your financial goals. From roundup savings to money market to individual retirement accounts, they offer a variety of options to help you save for life's most memorable moments. Call 314-212-1500 or visit a location near you to learn more. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
It's hot out.
But nothing can be hotter this summer than a Dogtown pizza. Hey, Josh here, and we're talking 425 degrees hot. 12 different varieties, and a whole bunch of fresh toppings. Try the bacon, the 4-meat, or head to the garden for a veggie or tomato basil garlic.
Oh, you want to get hot?
Try the hot chicken pizza on for size. Sizzling. This summer's already hot, but make it even hotter with some Dogtown Pizza. Every local grocery store in town and at dogtownpizza.com.
The Missouri Laborers Union and their contractors build our communities. Chances are your church, school, grocery store, or gas station was built by contractors using union laborers. They take great pride in their work and accomplishments and love to go by an old project and say, I built that. The men and women of the Missouri Laborers Union and their contractors, taking pride in building our communities. Go to buildunion.com for more information. That's buildunion.com.
Mark Lawson with Black Fox Cooper, your local Anderson certified contractor. Like you, I feel the effects of inflation every day. Costs continue to rise. That's why putting off replacing your old windows could cost you more in the future. New Anderson windows can make your home more comfortable, more energy efficient, and more beautiful, while potentially saving you more money on utility bills. At Black Fox Cooper, we specialize in Anderson replacement windows and offer a personalized educational approach we call the Window Review. Don't wait. Improve your home today. Call 314-270-1484, online blackfoxcooper.com.
Hey, it's Heidi Glaus, and I want to remind you to tune in to the Heidi Glaus Show with Bob Ramsey and Josh Gilbert weekdays from 3 to 6. You don't want to miss all the fun. Plus, Twice a month, we're joined by Dr. Ravi Johar, the Chief Medical Officer for United Healthcare. Dr. Johar and United Healthcare will keep us informed and educated about everything happening in the healthcare system, plus important facts to keep us healthy. United Healthcare and the Heidi Glaus Show on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Looking for your next favorite place? Head to Big Chief's Roadhouse on historic Route 66 in Wildwood. Relax on the beautiful patio, discover the hidden speakeasy, and enjoy fresh garden-to-table flavors straight from Big Chief's own gardens. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends, there's something for everyone. Visit BigChiefSTL.com, call 636-458-3200, or stop by today and experience one of Route 66 true dining destinations at Big Chief Roadhouse on Route 66.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group, and as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
.652 here, Big 550 KTRS. Isn't Facebook and Instagram or Meta being sued right now because they're being accused of creating algorithms to attract and addict young people to their social media platform? And they think this is a good idea. Muse make it make sense. I can't make it make sense to you. Yes, they are being sued in New Mexico and in California, and they've been on the wrong side of the lawsuits so far. So you're absolutely right. Good morning, I'm McGraw. I go on Medicare next month. It'll be $300 a month. When some talk about Medicare for all, it is not free. I had money taken out of my paycheck, a deduction like Social Security. Educate people. Nothing is free. Someone is paying for it. Maybe say Medicare for all, subject to research. Yes, Medicare for it's heavily subsidized. Can we say that? Here's another one. Love the James Wilson interview you did last night. Yeah, that was an interesting. This guy found the founding father, James Wilson. No one's ever heard of. He was one of the original Supreme Court justices, and while he was a sitting Supreme Court justice, they threw him into debtor's prison. Not once, but twice. He was a huge land speculator. And apparently he went belly up. He had 400 acres, 4,000 acres of land. He basically had the size of Connecticut, and it went belly up. And so they threw a sitting Supreme Court justice in jail, in debtor's prison. And he was let out and then was whisked away to some bar in North Carolina, and that's where he caught pneumonia or something and then ended up dying and was quickly erased from the history books because he had such a nefarious background. But he helped write the first draft of the Constitution, was instrumental, and also one of only six people ever to sign both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, which I thought was kind of, I didn't know that. The guy's name is James Wilson. He's sort of been lost to history, and the author of the book went up to these great historians. They're like, have you heard of this James Wilson guy? And people were kind of like, no, I don't really know. No, who is this guy? So he was truly lost to history. And we had the guy on last night. It was kind of entertaining, if I do say so myself.
Pictures of him look like a cross between George Washington and Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, well, his Instagram account, he made it private, so we can't really manipulate the pictures from his Instagram account. We should say when Stephen Portnoy called up, he asked us what we were doing. And Carl said, I'm explaining to McGraw how to set the privacy settings on his Instagram account so you can't steal the pictures. And Stephen Portnoy said, I just finished doing that myself.
The story comes out. There's a fix. Everyone does it right away.
It's unbelievable. So the people who were sleeping in today didn't find out. And so they'll be the poor saps whose pictures are being manipulated and destroyed and everything else.
Go to your settings in your profile, find the sharing and reuse tab, and turn it off.
Yeah, pretty scary stuff. All right, we're supposed to talk to Jordana Miller, but for some reason she was not able to hook up with us tonight, so we will move on. Next hour, we're going to check in with Peter Harlambus. He's got this new thing called the Freedom Fuel Network that they're touting gas at less expensive prices. Also, Brett Garrett's along for the ride with the latest with crime and terrorism. And then Dylan Hassinger came to our attention because they are very much against the data center down by the Armory in the city of St. Louis. And apparently you can register your complaint and you have to be heard. I think you pay $200 and you can register your complaint. And so he registered his complaint, and we wanted to get an anti-data person on so that we could hear all the reasons why they are against a data center in the city of St. Louis. So he's going to join us at 8:05. I should also say that I was talking to some people in the know yesterday about Amendment 5 and Amendment 4. And I was reaching out to some people to get some people, both pro and con, on Amendment 5 and Amendment 4 as we get closer to primary day. Amendment 4, these are both very confusing. Amendment 4, which we're all going to have to vote on in the state of Missouri, is going to change the way the initiative petition is passed in the state of Missouri. It won't change the way a constitutional amendment is passed if it's put on the ballot by the legislature. But it'll make it harder for the citizens to have their citizen petitions passed and made into a constitutional requirement. That polling apparently is going down in flames. The general public does not like that, where one rule for the citizens, one set of rules for the legislature. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. Amendment 5, which is the getting rid of the income tax and having the state legislature decide which taxes they would implement to make up for any monies that would be lost with the state income tax. That polling apparently is neck and neck. So there's a lot of people who are for it, and there are a lot of people who are against it. So that one, expect that one to garner a lot of attention in the next 4 weeks when it comes to Amendment 5. So we'll get people both. We've had people pro and con on, but we will continue as we get closer so that people can make an informed decision. But that Amendment 5, apparently the polling on that is neck and neck. The polling on Amendment 4, the public is not happy with the change in the constitutional process. 6:59. Let's check in with Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw 270 North is heavy from 44 to Manchester, but it's still running at or near the speed limit. It takes 10 minutes to travel from 270 and 55 to Manchester. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's going to be a carbon copy of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. 76 officially, and we're going to top off upper 80s with hazy, hot, and humid. It is 7 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
250 years of independence.
30 years of live local programming.
Okay, Lady Liberty, you win.
We are the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. Another night of airstrikes. The U.S. hitting Iran and Iran hitting U.S. military sites in the Middle East, including in Bahrain, where the Navy's 5th Fleet is headquartered. ABC Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz with more.
Overnight, a new round of U.S. attacks on Iran, larger in scope than those the night before, according to a U.S. official, striking at least 90 military targets. The president in Turkey at the NATO summit saying he was done talking to Iran. But last night on Air Force One, returning from the summit, the president claiming that the Iranians called him, wanting to make a deal.
That Air Force One taking the president back to the White House wasn't the same Air Force One he flew over there, the one gifted to the president by Qatar. ABC national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has that.
Multiple sources say the Secret Service urged the president not to fly on the new plane out of Turkey due to differences in the security capabilities from the older version of Air Force One. More than a dozen Senate Democrats sent a letter earlier this week to the Secretary of the Air Force and the government contractor that converted the Qatari jet, pointing to reports that taxpayers might have spent $1 billion to outfit it for the president's use. The senators voiced the concern that certain upgrades might have been skipped to rush the plane into service.
Following allegations of sexual assault against their old candidate, ABC's Jay O'Brien says the Democrats are going to have to find a new candidate to take on Senator Susan Collins in Maine.
In the nation's most closely watched Senate race, after a remarkable standoff with the Maine Democratic Party, disgraced Senate candidate Graham Plattner ending his campaign.
We believe that for the movement to continue, it can't be me.
That was from a video message Plattner put out last night. Israeli forces killing at least a dozen people in Gaza over the last 24 hours. Among those dead, a driver for the charity World Central Kitchen. You're listening to ABC News.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
74 degrees at 7:03. Here's what's happening now. The cause of a 2-alarm fire at a Lincoln County apartment complex is being investigated. Firefighters were called to the burning building along Killdeer Circle near Moscow Mills just after midnight. All of the residents were evacuated safely. The fire caused significant damage to several units at the complex. St. Louis County has announced the recommendation of more than $3.5 million in community development block grant funding. The funding aims to support projects that strengthen neighborhoods, expand opportunities for children and families, improves public infrastructure, and addresses critical community needs across the region. Administered through the St. Louis County Department of Human Services Offices of Community Development, the funds are allocated annually by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to support local projects that benefit low and moderate income residents and improve community conditions. Among the recipients are Room at the Inn, Lee May Child and Family Center, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and St. Louis County Parks and Recreation. The St. Louis Zoo is welcoming a pair of new residents. KTRS's David Solomon has more.
2 male western lowland gorillas are moving to the St. Louis Zoo. 10-year-old Gus and 8-year-old Bacavo are headed to St. Louis from the Fort Worth Zoo as part of a program to manage a genetically healthy population of the western lowland gorillas in North America. The 2 newcomers will have a chance to get acclimated to their new habitat behind the scenes before joining a bachelor gorilla troupe at the Jungle of the Apes later this year. David Solomon, KTRS News.
Arch Grants has awarded $100,000 in funding to Org Acuity, a St. Louis-based startup with a mission of making advanced people analytics accessible to organizations of every size. Since its launch in 2021, the Growth Grants program has helped Arch Grants' top-performing portfolio companies secure follow-on capital, expand operations, and deepen their roots in the region. To date, the program has awarded more than $2 million to 23 startups. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. They'll push for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 74 degrees. Time now is 7:05. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Okay. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Carl. The text line is going crazy over this this Instagram setting that was announced today, that Facebook is now allowing their apps to scrape your Instagram pictures and manipulate them any way they want with anybody they want. And for you to stop it, you have to change your setting, which they don't make very easy. Carl, one more time from the top, explain to people how they can change their settings on Instagram.
I'm doing this live right here.
Yes.
So I'm not going to skip any steps. So it's going to be nice and slow.
Yes.
Go to your Instagram accounts.
Go to your Instagram accounts.
Open it up. In the bottom right-hand corner, there is it's a circle that looks like a human-ish.
Right.
You press that.
Right. Hit
that is your profile page.
Go to your profile. Go to your profile, which is settings usually or whatever else. Yeah.
And then up in the upper right-hand corner, there are 3 lines.
3 lines.
Press that. That is your settings and activity.
That's the
page.
drop-down menu. It get all to you.
I am moving down 1. I moved about 1 full phone length.
Right.
And there's a setting called sharing and reuse. And there's like a recycle
Sharing
graphic
and
to the
reuse.
left.
So go to the 3 lines, go to sharing and reuse.
Click that. And then halfway down the page, allow people to reuse your content on Instagram and with AI features on Meta.
Yeah, turn that off.
There are 3 things. There are posts and there are reels. And then below that, if you've ever used your own audio rather than just pictures, turn off the audio as well.
Mm-hmm.
So posts, reels, and then reels and posts.
We sound like 15, a bunch of old people trying to explain. The kids are laughing at us.
We've gotten 15 texts from this. Listen to this from the 3 and 4. I can't locate the private button on my profile. Can you please walk me through it like I'm 100 years old? He says,
I think that was
32-year-old Sally. I mean, it just goes to show you how broken the system is.
They don't want you to do that.
I mean, we feel like we're this, band of people who have to stick together because big bad Meta, big bad Facebook. Big Brother has just created something to destroy us, and we have to stick together to fight Big Brother. I mean, that's what it feels like, but I digress. 7:07 here, Big 550 KTRS. Joe Hallman's got an interesting story in the Post-Dispatch today, and I was thinking about this the other day. Now that you're starting to see Cori Bush ads pop up and you're starting to see Wesley Bell ads pop up, this Democratic fight in the district, the one last remaining Democratic district in the state of Missouri, because they've reconfigured the districts, right?
The map.
Yeah. So this is the only one Democratic race left, and it's Cori Bush trying to regain her seat back. The self-avowed progressive versus Wesley Bell, who is being painted as the more mainstream Democrat, if you will, the more moderate Democrat. I find that interesting that Wesley Bell is considered the more moderate. I guess that everything's relative, right? You put 2 Democrats in a room, one of them's a liberal and one of them's a conservative. But to see the commercials, the negative commercials and the positive commercials against Cori Bush and everything else. Cori Bush was the biggest employer in her district was Boeing, and she wanted to defund the Pentagon, which was a head scratcher. Why would you send someone to Washington, D.C. to defund your job? But that's how she got to Washington, D.C. So we'll see how this thing shapes up. But we're starting to see Wesley Bell, who's considered the more conventional Democrat, who got his rise. Right? He was sort of a community activist during the Ferguson riots, and then became county. Right, and when he ran against Bob McCullough, was the progressive, and Bob McCullough was the establishment. We have to kick Bob McCullough out because, oh my goodness, that guy, whew, what a terrible person he is. And then Wesley Bell came in, and you know what he was going to do? He was going to reopen the whole Michael Brown shooting and really get to the bottom of that thing. And he went in to become county prosecutor and looked at every piece of paper and every scrap of notes and everything else and came to the same conclusion as
Obama's Justice Department.
As Obama's Justice Department, and didn't refile or file any charges against Darren Wilson. Now, Wesley Bell is the Bob McCullough, and Cori Bush is the Wesley Bell. Isn't it amazing how you just get painted that certain way? Right? Everything's relative. But anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how that thing shapes up. All right, they're coming up this hour. Peter Harlambu is going to join us at 7:35. Brad Garrett's going to join us. And then we're going to talk anti-data centers with this candidate who is running for St. Louis City license collector, which we're still not sure exactly what the license collector does. So it'll be a twofer. We'll find out what the license collector actually does. Maybe they license data centers.
Yeah, right. Well, then he wouldn't have to pay $250 to stop it.
And we'll find out why this man is against data centers. Antonio French is going to be along. Maybe we'll talk to Antonio French about this Wesley Bell, Cori Bush story, because I think that's kind of interesting. And then Frank Cusimano is going to join us. And then phone calls, text messages, all straight ahead. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, I would vote no on Amendment 5 if you need a talking mule to help get it passed. You know there might be problems. That's either they're stealing my comments from yesterday or they have the same brilliant mind as I do. If you're taking your cues on who you're going to vote for from a talking donkey, the legislation might not be your biggest problem. That's all I'm saying. But oftentimes, they'll see a meme on Instagram or a talking donkey on TV, and that will shape someone's opinion and then vote accordingly. There's a reason why. There's a talking donkey on television. It's because it works.
It
works.
I was thinking about this. Do these people just assume like the majority of people just aren't that smart? Like, you know what I mean? Like even like donkey. I know I'm going off, but like as seen on TV products or all, just stuff where it's like basically the whole, it's just a ruse. Like it's all trying to get one over on the consumer and all this. It's like, does everybody just cynical. Assume that we're just that dumb that we're like, oh, if I order one, I'll get a free one for nothing. And like we're all marks. Like
no,
we're all
I honestly believe that. I honestly believe this. I truly, honestly believe this is that most people who don't follow the news are busy going to their job, trying to hang on to their job, trying to figure out what this AI is going to do for their job. They're trying to raise their kids. Their kids just got a C in fractions, and they didn't do well in their report card, and now we got to deal with what are we going to do with them for the summer, and I just got a reduction in pay, and my bonus didn't come through, and then my Aunt Sally got sick, and my brother's not doing very well, and I got to mow the yard, and the back of the house is falling apart, and so people's lives get in the way, and they just don't have the bandwidth to follow the news on a day-to-day basis. And so they sit down at the end of the day, and they're, oh, my goodness, I finally got 5 minutes to myself. I've been pulled in 8,000 directions. Let me sit here and veg out and watch a ball game. And all of a sudden there's a talking donkey telling them, hey, these people are trying to steal your money. And you're like, yeah, people have been trying to steal my money all day. Yeah, what's this talking donkey? Yeah. So the only real friend these poor guys had all day is a talking donkey. And he's like, you know what? I'm going with the donkey. I got the donkey.
I don't like taxes.
Yeah. So that's what I think. I think if we had more bandwidth or more time or more we're able to, and since the paywall is being what it is, and all of a sudden you have personal agendas being pushed at you in every way, shape, or form. What's real? What's not real? Oh, I'll just turn the whole thing off, and then they become quote unquote uninformed because they're busy leading their life. That's what I honestly believe.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's what I honestly believe. I think most people would love to be informed and follow but the elected officials purposely make it so ridiculously hard. Facebook makes it so ridiculously hard to turn off sharing of your photos because they want you to be like, oh, what's this Amendment 5 with the this and the what? Wait a minute, what's going on with the data center and who's and maybe I heard something about the water. My energy bills are going up. Yeah, I've noticed that too. It's got to be these data centers that I heard about. That's how people then they turn on their Facebook because they're going to veg out, and all of a sudden they see all these Russian bots telling them what to think, and all of a sudden they're off down in some rabbit hole somewhere.
Well, and they clearly keep spending money on commercials and stuff, so it's obviously worth it in some realm. You know what I mean? Like
negative advertising works.
Well, but right? Because especially even now when a lot of people aren't even, a lot of people don't even watch commercials anymore or have streaming where they don't, they aren't subjected to that. But clearly people are still putting it. Like I was like, if you were a campaign manager or you were running, where would you think where would you get the board out? Where would your message be heard the clearest or the loudest?
I think the best way to get your message out is a talking donkey.
Right. Clearly.
A Missouri mule. Is it a donkey or is it a Missouri mule?
I heard yesterday it was a Missouri mule.
And who's it for, by the way? What is this donkey? Who's this donkey promoting?
This donkey wants to get rid of the income tax.
Yes.
Okay.
Because this donkey has clearly been
paying too much in taxes?
Suppressed and ostracized and suppressed. His First Amendment rights have been suppressed by the income tax that he's had to pay all these years.
Poor Eeyore.
Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, we are off to a good start this morning on the commute. No accidents or big slowdowns. Checking some drive times. It's just 6 minutes from 70 at the Blanchette Bridge to the airport, a 9-minute ride from 64 and McKnight to Jefferson, and 8 minutes to go from 64 at the Poplar Street Bridge to 170. We have road work on 5570 East between Illinois 111 and Fairmont, and there's road work on 5570 West between 255 and Illinois 203. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch with your First Alert forecast. We are in a First Alert weather day once again this afternoon as we are going to see the potential for some strong to severe storms from 2 p.m. lasting towards the overnight hours. So looking at the possibility of some strong winds as the primary threat, could see the possibility of some flooding, and yes, even a secondary threat of some large hail and a few isolated weak tornadoes. So we'll continue to keep you up to date with that information. Temperatures back towards the lower 90s today. More chances of showers and storms Friday lasting into Saturday morning. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, McGraw, you're so smart, everyone should listen and learn from you. Yeah. Where'd that come from? I think the donkey ad is a hidden message for Jack Blinks. Yes. Let's see here. Rose, I'm a Missourian, but I'm sure Missouri ranks 43rd as the smartest of the 50 states. Have you seen our rankings in most things? And we could be lower. Just saying. Here's another one. Cori Bush was supposedly a homeless person at one time, and after a year in Congress, she has a net worth of $10 million. One, she was in Congress, I think, for 4 years. And
you need 5 to keep your pension.
And I'm pretty sure she's not worth $10 million. I think she's probably considered one of the least affluent members of Congress. I think she has a modest net worth. I don't think she's not cashed out, if you will, or cashed up because of her 4 years in Washington, D.C. Hey, McGraw, to stay informed, I listen to the Big 550 KTRS. Smart person. There you go. Hey, Michael Baldy will help you out with all of your electricity and your electrical needs. BaldyElectric.com, 314-968-9999, or Baldy Electric, indoor, outdoor, an old Victorian home, knob and tube wiring. Yes, knob and tube wiring is still out there. If you want to upgrade, oftentimes people want to upgrade their electrical box. It's in the basement and it's rusted out. It's got some water in it. That could be a problem as well. Michael Baldy will come in and fix all that for you, just like he's done for me. You want a ceiling fan under the deck, above the deck, in the garage, basement, attic. You need some extra lights. You need to power the workshop. Yes, you do. Michael Baldy is there. He has a full team of electricians trained by Michael Baldy. There couldn't be any more courteous, professional, and they get the job done. So you need an electrician, you need Michael Baldy. 314-968-9999 or BaldyElectric.com.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. Plus, when you schedule your appointment before July 12th, you'll receive an additional $250 off your entire purchase. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
Are you or a family member needing to sell your home? Then call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I will buy your home in any condition and always as is. Call me at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. No contingencies, no inspections, just cold hard cash. I'll save you time and money. So make that call now and let me buy your house. RobankProperties.com. That's ROBANG Properties.com.
Listen up. If you have not paid self-employment, business, or individual taxes in years, the IRS will find you. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. I offer real solutions. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Story, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. At the Lance Story Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
The heat of summer has arrived with humidity, dew points, and constant hydration. But it's always cool and comfortable at Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Whether it's summer camp, cooling off at the pool, or just relaxing in the shade, Gingham's is a great way to start or finish any day. Just add us to your to-do list. The management and staff at Gingham's would like to wish our customers and friends a safe and enjoyable summer, and to the United States of America, a very happy 250th birthday. Gingham's Restaurant St. Charles or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
Live from Studio 550, this is The McGraw Show on KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, man, they're in rare form today. Is that a Missouri mule or a Missouri mule? Legitimate question. Here's another one. McGraw, to the texter who wrongly thought Cori Bush is worth $10 million from her time in office, I wonder what that texter thinks of Trump making billions off of his presidency and his sons making millions off their father's position. It's a legitimate, it's an interesting text along the way.
And we did some digging. Cori Bush is not worth $10 million.
No.
She's worth substantially less than that.
I don't understand. I don't know how much I trust that Google net worth button, because
no, this was independent sources.
Yeah. Yes.
Yahoo.
Well, they have to release their tax returns, and they have to release some type of financial statements and things like that. So it's not perfect by any stretch of the imaginations, and it is arranged, but she is well thought of as one of the least affluent members of Congress when she was in Congress. And I don't think she's gone on in her year and a half she's been out of office, I don't think she's gone on to become a huge lobbyist for a huge multinational company cashing millions of dollars in checks.
So I went to opensecrets.org, which is a nonpartisan site.
Opensecrets.org. What?
Well, they go through people's tax records and such.
Yes. Yes, and
they say she makes $125,000 a year.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Elite.
President Trump has generated over $2 billion in personal income during his first year back in the White House. A significant portion of that wealth is tied directly to his cryptocurrency ventures and legal settlements. This has prompted ethics concerns about an unprecedented profiteering while in office. About $1.4 billion has came from the family's cryptocurrency ventures. So there you go.
So he has to pay back E. Jean Carroll now, right?
A judge has said that. Yes.
Yeah,
so
you got to pay $5,000. But there's a second one?
That's from one. I was talking to Greg Willard about this. This one's for the $5 million. There's also one that's more than $80 million. That one, he thinks that the precedent they set with the 5 is also going to go with the 80 plus.
Right.
But it still has not been adjudicated yet.
Gotcha. So he's got to pay the 5, but he's waiting for the 80-something to be paid. She's waiting for the 80-something to be paid.
Has he paid out any settlements since he's been in, like that? He's
Stormy Daniels.
He did pay. Like, is there?
Well, he also had to pay out the whole. He settled the Trump University lawsuit right before the first his first administration. All the people who went to Trump University and got scammed sued, and he settled out of court. And then there was another case where
the stakes.
No, it was the Trump Foundation, the Trump Family Trust, the Trump Foundation
in New York.
Was such that part of that settlement was they're no longer to be on the board or to run any type of charitable organizations because they saw that they were taking money from the till and using it and using the tax exempt status for non-tax exempt things. And I don't remember exactly what but part of that settlement was that Trump and the family and those involved are not allowed to be on the board of any more nonprofits because they abuse their positions on the Trump Family Foundation, if memory serves me right, on all of that. So, from the Country Club Car Wash text line, you mean Cori Bush isn't a lobbyist for Boeing? No, Cori Bush is not hired as a lobbyist for Boeing. She wanted to defund the second largest employer in the state of Missouri. So why somebody would send her to Washington, D.C. to defund the second largest employer in the region is a whole other issue, but everyone's allowed to vote. 728 here, Big 550 KTRS. Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. They're building that new hospital on Grand and Choteau. In a few months, they're going to send out a news release, have the ribbon cutting, and open up the doors to 21st century health care. It's miracles. I tell you, it's miracles. Every time I talk to somebody from Cardinal Glennon, you listen to what they do every single day, what they're able to do with the robots and the technology and the 21st century doctors. It is truly a miracle. Happens every single day at Cardinal Glennon, and it's just another day's work for them. We're thrilled to partner with them for all sorts of reasons, including our favorite is the Light Up Glennon, where we invite everybody in the community to come and sing Christmas carols to the kids who are stuck in the hospital. And one of the nicest things about that, now that we've been doing it for 6 or 7 years, the kids who were originally there the first and second year and third year, they've grown up, they've gotten better, and now they're out, and now they're bringing their friends to the Light Up Glennon because they remember how much fun they had on the night they were stuck in the hotel, and the community came out and sang Christmas carols to them. It's a wonderful organization and a wonderful event, and we're thrilled to be a part of it. Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. To find out more, everyone knows it as Cardinal Glennon. Its official name is SSM Health, Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. And to find out more, glennon.org. St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, the roads are quiet right now with no accidents or slow traffic. Checking some drive times, it's 11 minutes from 64 and Timberlake Manor out to 94, 10 minutes from 270 and 55 to Manchester with heavy volume between Big Bend and Manchester, 8 minutes to go from 64 at the Poplar Street Bridge to 170. We have road work on 5570 East between Illinois 111 and Fairmont. And there's road work on 5570 West between 255 and Illinois 203. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
77 degrees here on the Big 550 KTRS. Weather is going to be a carbon copy of yesterday. Hazy, hot, and humid. High today of 88, and the humidity is going to be up over 60%. 77 right now at 7:31. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
This newscast is brought to you by Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. Utah prosecutors plan to play audio clips in open court of law enforcement officials interviewing the roommate of the man accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Defense attorneys fought against the public release of the statements from Tyler Robinson's roommate and romantic partner Lance Twiggs. They said prosecutors would characterize the statements as a confession and that could undermine Robinson's right to a fair trial. Nominations are opening in a Labour Party election to replace Keir Starmer as Britain's Prime Minister. Former Great Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham is expected to be the sole candidate. In local headlines, MoDOT is seeking public feedback on the planned traffic and safety improvements along 6167 in Jefferson County. A public meeting will be held on July 21st from 4 in the afternoon until 6:30 in the evening at Windsor High School in Imperial. Governor J.B. Pritzker is designating the black and gold bumblebee as the official Illinois state bee. The designation was part of a law signed by the governor. The black and gold bumblebee serves as a critical prairie land pollinator that boosts Illinois' natural ecosystem, supports agriculture, and helps sustain life on Earth. Are you or a family member turning 65? Are you happy with your current plan? For the right plan, call the Medicare man, Ryan Raphael, at 314-368-6808. 75 degrees. Time now is 7:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
It's the GOAT, the greatest of all trade-in events at HW Kia. Bring your trade now and get up to $5,000 over book value for it. If your trade is old, tired, stinky, or being held together by duct tape and a prayer, HW Kia wants it. Paid off or not, bring that old goat in to HW Kia. Then drive home a new HW Kia K4 for just $189 a month. Yes, only $189 a month on a 24-month lease. It's the HW Kia GOAT event. The greatest of all trade-in events. Get up to $5,000 over book value for your trade now. New K4, just $189 a month. HW Kia in the heart of West County on Manchester Road. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in an HW Kia. Start now at hwkia.com. Summer sticker sales event. With approved credit to well-qualified buyers through Kia Finance. 2026 K4, $36.95 to its signing. Discount includes $850 in lease cash. 10,000 miles per year. No security cost. Plus tax, title, license, and admin. Fee expires 7/31/26.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They could send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on? It only makes sense, whether it's a roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Discover how you can make lasting summer memories with a home equity line of credit from Royal Banks of Missouri. Whether you're envisioning a new backyard oasis or an unforgettable family getaway, you can enjoy peace of mind with flexible, convenient funding to turn your dreams into reality. Call 314-212-1500 or visit royalbanksofmo.com today to learn how you can apply for a home equity line of credit. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, 7:35 here, Big 550 KTRS. Peter Harlambous from ABC News joins us. Peter, what is the Freedom Fuel Network?
So this is a coalition of about 25 gas stations throughout New Jersey and Pennsylvania that, according to the White House, are lowering the price of gas voluntarily to $3.47 to offer consumers some relief at the pump. That's despite the national average being closer to about $3.89. Experts have been skeptical of how a gas station can do this and still make a profit. Margins at gas stations are really tight, generally around 10 cents per gallon. These stations are basically cutting their profit margins by around 35 cents. So we'll really have to see if this is a promotional effort or actually a viable business model. For now, though, the White House is touting this effort, saying that it's a great initiative by private businesses who aren't receiving any money from the federal government, and saying that other gas companies should take their lead.
Is it 25 gas stations or 25 gas companies?
So it's just 25 independent gas stations throughout the Northeast. And kind of we went company by company, and they're all kind of brands that you've probably never heard of, small independent operators that aren't connected to a big company like Sunoco or Exxon or Gulf, for example. That being said, there's still a lot of confusion about what exactly this is. There is no business registered to that Freedom Fuel Network kind of entity. If anything, we've just found a trademark application that was filed the same day that President Trump made this announcement, really raising questions whether this is actually a concrete thing we could see happening elsewhere or just kind of a promotional gimmick that the White House can point to as the war in Iran threatens to increase again and gas prices continue to stay high.
How long are these gas stations going to continue with this lower gas price?
Yeah, I think that's a big unanswered question from the White House for now. They've framed this as if this is a long-term thing, as if this is a kind of initiative they're taking and they're going to lead the charge on. They've rebranded these gas stations to Freedom Fuel Network gas stations. So it really remains to be seen. Specifically, this price point of $3.47 a gallon, that is apparently a nod to the president being the 47th president of the United States. Something that the White House pointed to in a social media post yesterday, and the president harped on during a social media post on July 1st. Again, a lot more questions than answers here, because at the end of the day, gas stations aren't necessarily an industry where there's a huge profit margin. Generally speaking, there's about 20 to 40 cents difference between the price they're buying gas at to the price they're selling it at retail. And then once you consider all the other costs like labor and the cost of real estate and other bills, it really brings that profit margin down to about 5 to 10 cents per gallon. Really not a lot of money to work with. So how they're able to reduce the price of gas on average by about 30 cents a gallon, that is a question that is kind of confusing and raising some skepticism by industry experts.
Yeah, why would a business owner sell something as a loss? I mean, you do have those loss leaders where they, buy 10-cent bananas and you come in and you buy more expensive meat. But these gas stations aren't necessarily known for wanting to sell something and lose money on it. So it seems like it's not a very good business model for very long.
Yeah, it does not seem like a viable thing. The industry experts I've spoken to have raised some possibilities that perhaps they're trying to maybe make up money at their actual convenience stores. That's generally an area where gas stations have been more profitable. Though if that were the case, any other gas station throughout the country would be able to make the same approach. The White House is also denying any allegation that these companies are getting any money from the federal government, that they're getting kickbacks, that they're not having to pay the federal gas tax. For now, the White House says that this is a fully private effort taken by companies that just want to do the right thing, though it has sparked criticism online from folks who are basically saying that, this is coming from a White House who is deeply critical of what it says is communism taking over the country, whereas this appears to be a state initiative, a state-pushed initiative, even if it's private businesses, to lower the price of this key commodity.
Yeah, that was my last point. Is this being run by the state, or who put these 25 businesses together? Is it a federal program? Is it from the White House? Is it from the state? Is it from an independent organization?
For now, it's kind of cloaked in mystery. There are no business records we can find publicly about this Freedom Fuel Network. The only thing that exists federally, at least, is a trademark application that was filed on July 1st, suggesting that this isn't necessarily kind of a fully organic thing, though it remains to be seen what is or who is the driving force here. Is it something coming from the federal government where they're trying to do this to look good, or is this actually a coalition of these small independent gas operators who might see an opportunity here for a good promotion and good attention? That being said, I'll point, though, to other companies that have been able to be successful lowering the price of gas just because they go through so much volume. Think of Costco or BJ's Gas. Even those massive companies that are selling 10 or 20 times the volume of your neighborhood gas station are not able to lower the price of gas to the degree we're seeing from this Freedom Fuel Network. So again, a really big grain of salt from experts here.
Yeah, we'll wait and see how this thing all turns out. Peter Harlambus, thanks for bringing it to our attention. Have a good day.
Thanks so much.
741, Big 550, KTRS.
The World Cup is here, and for a team to survive, they need a good defense. If you've been hurt in a crash or on the job, call Brown & Brown now for a free consultation. 314-333-3333. That's 314, all threes. The choice of lawyer is important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. Plus, when you schedule your appointment before July 12th, you'll receive an additional $250 off your entire purchase. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
Looking for your next favorite place? Head to Big Chief's Roadhouse on historic Route 66 in Wildwood. Relax on the beautiful patio, discover the hidden speakeasy, and enjoy fresh garden-to-table flavors straight from Big Chief's own gardens. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends, there's something for everyone. Visit BigChiefSTL.com, call 636-458-3200, or stop by today and experience one of Route 66 true dining destinations at Big Chief Roadhouse on Route 66.
Make the decision to upgrade your deck or patio into the special place you always imagined. Jill Farmer from my friends at Patriot Build Sunrooms, and they're offering you a free design consultation for a beautiful sunroom, patio cover, power shades, outdoor kitchen, or anything else you can dream up. Now's the perfect time to invest in comfort, beauty, and lasting value. Enjoy more light, more nature, more life in a Patriot sunroom. Call today, 314-822-3232. Patriot Builds STL, or visit them, 811 South Kirkwood Road.
The tradition continues on Saturday, July 25th, when the Cardinals play the Cincinnati Reds. That day, you can take home the fan favorite Victory Blue jersey, just like the one the Cardinals wear every road Saturday, presented by Stiefel. It's a clean, classic look that stands out all season long. Available in medium and extra large while supplies last. Step into Saturday in Victory Blue. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Michael McGreevy. See you at Busch Stadium.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
Meep, meep.
St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, no accidents, but 270 north is heavy now from 44 to Manchester. 30 east is slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. Checking some drive times, it's 11 minutes from 64 and Timberlake Manor out to 94, 9 minutes from US 67 in Alton down to 270, and an 8-minute ride from 64 at the Poplar Street Bridge to 170. We have road work on 5570 east between Illinois 111 and Fairmont, and there's road work on 5570 west between 255 and Illinois 203. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Hot and humid Thursday, high of 93, but it's a First Alert weather day because of a chance of a few storms in the afternoon to evening that could be severe. These may be hit and miss, but they can hit hard, so let's be weather aware for a severe storm afternoon to evening on Thursday. Friday, some scattered storms likely again, especially in the afternoon to evening with a high of 89. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Earrings, necklaces, bracelets, you name it, Lordo's will take care of you. One of a kind engagement rings, lovely men's watches, women's watches. Yeah, Lordo's has that as well. You see, they're a family jeweler. And when you're a family jeweler, you do not take direction from some corporate somebody somewhere else. You do what you think is best, and that's why Jimmy and Mike Lordo have been successful all these years. They learned the business from their family. It's been handed down. And for 70-plus years, the Lordos, a family, has been selling and taking care of all of our jewelry needs. Jewelry is special because it will last a lifetime. And it's you want to say just the right thing, whether grandma's handing it down or you're handing it to a spouse, a loved one, a niece, a nephew, a father, daughter. Lordo's is where you go. You don't go to the big box stores. You don't go online to buy something like this. And you certainly don't go to Amazon to get it fixed. You go to a family jeweler, and that's why Lordo's is here to help. In the heart of Ladue on Clayton Road, 314-432-8008, Lordo's. Or LordosDiamonds.com.
Summer is a time to relax with friends and family. Vacations, barbecues, pool days, even movie nights. But for thousands of our neighbors in the St. Louis area, their struggles don't take a vacation. That's why all of us here at KTRS are partnering with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis for a Christmas in July promotion.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. We'll be co-hosting a family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 10th for a free viewing of Disney's Cars. Come out and enjoy the movie on the massive screen at Westport Plaza and bring an unwrapped toy or non-perishable item for Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis.
Whew, only 10 million more lists to go.
This summer, while you're making memories, help someone else find hope. Come out to the Westport Plaza Movie Night on July 10th or visit ccstl.org and make a donation today. It's the Royal Banks of Missouri Christmas in July promotion on the Big 550 KTRS.
Presented by Appliance Discounters, Schnarr's Hardware, Connor Roofing, Metal Exchange, the St. Louis Cardinals, and Altair Travel.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Boges, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemaristudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemaristudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
It's hot out.
But nothing can be hotter this summer than a Dogtown pizza. Hey, Josh here, and we're talking 425 degrees hot. 12 different varieties, and a whole bunch of fresh toppings. Try the bacon, the 4-meat, or head to the garden for a veggie or tomato basil garlic.
Oh, you want to get hot?
Try the hot chicken pizza on for size. Sizzling. This summer's already hot, but make it even hotter with some Dogtown Pizza. Every local grocery store in town and at dogtownpizza.com.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. We didn't get the nickname the St. Louis Corvette Kings by accident.
We have specialized in Corvettes for over 30 years, and I need more. You have one for sale, especially C6, C7, and Classic Corvettes. I'm an immediate buyer for very clean, low-mile examples. Hop on our site, MastercarsInc.com, or give us a call to submit what you have. We'll even come to you if we have to. Owe money on it? Don't worry. We'll make the payoff and pay your equity right on the spot. This has been a fantastic Corvette summer, and I want to keep it rolling.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MastercarsInc.com to get more details. That's MastercarsInc.com.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right. We've been talking about it all morning long of social media and the scourge of social media. If you have a young boy with a cell phone, you're going to want to pay attention to this next story. Brad Garrett, ABC News, crime and terrorism analyst. Brad, what's this story?
So let's take the typical teenage boy. Online, normal. Social media sites, normal. Comes across an attractive girl, normal. And then it can go sideways from there. So he starts interacting with this he thinks is a female about his age. Of course, it's not, but he thinks that. And she, at one point, she ends up sending him sexually exploitive pictures of her, then encourages him to do the same thing. And if he does that, then the extortionists on the other end have him. And at that point, they come on and say, look, we're going to ruin your life if you don't pay us. We're going to send pictures to your school. They're going to send these pictures, put them online, etc. Send them to your friends. And so what happens is these kids end up, and typically a 15-year-old boy doesn't really have access to a lot of money, but they'll send them what they can send them, and they start putting more pressure on them. And unfortunately, or sadly, very sadly, some of these kids end up taking their own life.
How many people are? How often does this happen? How many boys get caught up in something like this?
Well, I can tell you one study said that kids in the Gen Z sort of age group, upwards to 30% of them bite on sending pictures. And I'm talking, I think these are astronomical numbers. We don't really know, but they occur all over the world. An Intel analyst, I think his name was Paul Rathfile, he did a study of this, and he found out that in looking at these extortions in Australia, in Europe, obviously here in the U.S., that the language and even the misspelled words in the dialogue online was exactly the same, clearly suggesting that the bad guys have shared how you do this with untold numbers of people. Because let's face it, McGraw, they're going to have to work off of volume. I mean, if a typical 15-year-old can only give you $500 to $1,000, whatever, but if you got 150 of them on the hook today, you can make a fair amount of money. This is all a numbers game, I think. Unfortunately, you've now added to the pile of potential victims of kids that can harm themselves, take their own lives, but certainly believe that their life is ruined by this whole thing.
You say that the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children receives in excess of 20,000 reports of this crime going on every year?
Yeah. And of course, I don't know what context exactly, but that's, even if you take that number and think about, are every one of those an exploitation, they may be reporting that they know of somebody, whatever it might be. The point being, based on those numbers and based on the studies that I have read, these numbers I think are just going to be really big because there's no reason for them not to be, because this is so easy to do. I mean, if you're internet social media savvy and you have ill intent, you can do this.
You're talking about the boys here, but aren't the girls also caught up in something very similar to this?
Probably. All I'm suggesting is if you look at all the cases of suicide that we know of, and you look at the numbers of kids that we know have been extorted, it all seems to be predominantly boys. Are there girls' cases? There probably are. I just think that boys are an easier target. And if you're working off numbers, maybe bypass the girls, go to the boys. And maybe boys, I don't know the answer to this, McGraw, but maybe the boys are more vulnerable or egotistical or whatever the word might be to send pictures of themselves versus a girl doing that.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's heartbreaking. Is there anything a parent can do other than take the phone away and tell them never to talk on social media again?
Right, which we both know won't work. But the point being is, yes, your relationship with your kid, will they come forward and tell you about somebody that's trying to do this, or they've already sent the picture, what are we going to do now? And educate your kids that, look, this is out there. Just because you see some cute brunette online doesn't mean that's who you're talking to. And you've got to be very careful, but that's why social media is so alluring. It pulls people in to also, good things, I suppose, but certainly a lot of bad things.
Heartbreaking stuff. Brad Garrett, ABC News, crime and terrorism analyst. Brad, thanks for checking in. Thanks for bringing it to our attention.
Take care, McGraw.
It's also, right, we were talking earlier today about this new Facebook app called Muse, which is able to scrape pictures off your social media, manipulate them any way they want, and then sell them, resell them, restock them, whatever else. Everything from making a cat video from your aunt to doing something sexually exploitive like this. It's heartbreaking that we don't have any elected officials, authorities, people in power to somehow curtail Facebook from doing something like this. But we all can't function because some transgendered person has to go to a bathroom and they picked the wrong bathroom. It's crazy. It's just absolutely bonkers.
A lot of it, too, though, is the scamming. Like, we just have to teach kids to be so much smart. Like, you know what I mean? The idea of, like, don't send pictures. And you know what I mean? Just start at the because so much of this is scamming. So many scams are, popping up wrapped up in all different packages, right? And people are consistently,
you have a 14-year-old boy who gets a cute picture from a girl, and
that's what I mean. Like, so then it's got to be like, start basic, like never send pictures over the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just kind of. Well,
and I
just have to make them.
I can't believe. I'm sorry. I can't believe the angst I get when I tell people don't put Emerson's picture online. They're like, really?
Well, a lot of it's probably because you're reminding them that they, you know what I mean, like. They should probably not be putting all these pictures online. So their initial response is defense because,
But they're putting somebody else's child's picture online. And you're like, excuse me, don't do that. Oh, you're one of those. Yes, I'm one of those. I don't like the picture on the internet for a specific reason. And people, they're like, oh, well, but I do this. This is what I do. I'm like, yeah, well, don't do it with my daughter. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. They're like zombies. I must post online, and this is the result. It's heartbreaking. 7:58, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, no accidents, but 270 north is heavy from 44 up to Manchester. 64 west, busy from Hampton to Big Bend. 64 east bugs down at 170. 30 east is slow between Ronning and 270 in Sunset Hills. 6455 west, slow between Barack Obama Boulevard and the Poplar Street Bridge. We have road work on 5570 east between Illinois 111 and Fairmont, and there's road work on 5570 west between 255 and Illinois 203. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Piccadilly at Manhattan. It's the official, unofficial restaurant of the Big 550 KTRS, Piccadilly at Manhattan. It's on the corner of, this is hard to imagine, Piccadilly at Manhattan. It's right there. It's in the Ellendale neighborhood. They got great food, great atmosphere, great family. It's the oldest restaurant in St. Louis. Has been a restaurant on that site for well over 100 years. And last 20 years or so, 25 years maybe, it's been Piccadilly at Manhattan. And it's such a great place to go and to reconnect with friends there that you see there. You always run into somebody you meet or you know. It's a business lunch. It's a friendly lunch. It's a get-together lunch. It's a I haven't seen you in a while lunch. Whether it's a lunch or dinner, catering is also available. Never a bad meal. The staff can't be any friendlier. Family lives upstairs. Great back patio. Great flowers. When the weather turns hot, they got fans and air conditioning. When the weather turns cool, they got space heaters. So there's really no reason why you can't go to the Piccadilly at Manhattan. Ellendale neighborhood, past Manchester, past Arsenal. Make a right on Piccadilly or make a right on Manhattan. And when those two meet, Piccadilly at Manhattan is where you find Piccadilly at Manhattan. 8 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
This has been the talk of St. Louis for 30 years, and we aren't stopping now.
We are the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis. Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The latest round of airstrikes from the U.S. and Iran, larger in scope than the night before, hitting at least 90 military targets, according to a U.S. official. Iran retaliating, targeting American bases in Kuwait, Bahrain, and Qatar. The renewed tensions reflected at the gas pump, says ABC's Rebecca Jarvis.
The national average jumping 6 cents overnight to $3.81 a gallon this morning, according to Gas Buddy. And the key here to what happens next to that price for Americans is what happens in the Strait of Hormuz. And in the last 24 hours, Kepler tells ABC News it has seen 25 ships cross. Now, that is lower than what we've seen in previous days.
In previous days, as many as 40 ships were crossing. President Trump taking the older Air Force One out of Turkey on the way back from the NATO summit.
Multiple sources familiar with the plans told ABC that the Secret Service urged President Trump to fly out of Turkey on the old Air Force One instead of the Qatari-gifted plane out of an abundance of caution because of the escalation with Iran. The change in plans was not prompted by a specific threat, but influenced in part by differences in the plane's security capabilities.
ABC's Martha Raddatz. Graham Plattner is out. The main Democratic Senate candidate releasing a video message Wednesday evening denying the sexual assault allegations leveled against him and blasting the larger Democratic Party as a whole.
I know that some will think it's an admission of guilt, and it most certainly is not. We're not doing it because of the allegations. We're doing it because of the structures that are being taken away from us by those in power.
Democrats, including some of his strong supporters, had urged him to step aside. She was best known for Total Eclipse of the Heart, but Bonnie Tyler also sang this. Tyler passed away after an illness in Portugal. She was 75. You're listening to ABC News.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
80 degrees at 8:03. Here's what's happening now. St. Louis police are assisting in a death investigation of a child in the Metro East. During a press conference last night, Lieutenant Colonel Renee Kreisman of the St. Louis Police Department announced that a child's remains were found in Stuckey, Illinois yesterday. Detectives are in the early stages of the death investigation and are working to determine what led up to the juvenile's death. However, police believe the child is related to a parental kidnapping investigation from St. Louis and Deloge, Missouri, involving 2 parents. 3 St. Louis men were sentenced to prison yesterday in a 2024 homicide outside a laundromat in the city's Holly Hills neighborhood. Anthony Hill, Calvin Anderson, both 50, and 41-year-old Tyrell Henley reached plea agreements with prosecutors in the January 2024 shooting death of 39-year-old Rion Robinson. The city of Webster Groves plans to sue a fireworks company after a last-minute cancellation for the 4th of July. The city council voted to file a lawsuit against Pyrotechnics, which had been contracted to produce the fireworks show at Memorial Park. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul and a coalition of 5 attorneys general are reaching a settlement with Deere & Company. The settlement resolves an antitrust lawsuit accusing the Moline-based farm equipment manufacturer of using unlawful practices to limit the ability of farmers and independent repair providers to perform repairs on Deere farm equipment. The suit claims Deere's practices led to service delays and higher costs for farmers. As part of the settlement, the company must make repair resources available to farmers and independent repair providers on fair and reasonable terms for the next 10 years. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. The St. Louis Zoo is welcoming a pair of new residents. KTRS's David Solomon has more.
2 male western lowland gorillas are moving to the St. Louis Zoo. 10-year-old Gus and 8-year-old Bacavo are headed to St. Louis from the Fort Worth Zoo as part of a program to manage a genetically healthy population of the western lowland gorillas in North America. The 2 newcomers will have a chance to get acclimated to their new habitat behind the scenes before joining a bachelor gorilla troupe at the Jungle of the Apes later this year. David Solomon, KTRS News.
78 degrees. Time now is 8:05. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
All right, so there's a planned data center right next to the Armory, and they is going to generate millions of dollars. It's a $3 billion build-out, and then millions of dollars in taxes for the city of St. Louis, and millions of dollars in taxes every single year for the school districts. Some people are not happy about it. One of them is Dylan Hassinger, who is a litigant, an anti-data center litigant fighting this. He's also running for St. Louis City license collector. Dylan, welcome to KTRS.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on today.
You got it. What exactly does a license collector do?
Yeah, the license collector manages all the business licenses for all the businesses operating in the city, and also administers some specialized business taxes for things like hotels, manufacturing, and other industries.
Do you have any expertise in that? I mean, what type? How do you go to school for that? Why would you make a good license collector?
I'm a software engineer by trade, and I'm an engineering manager for a global corporation. But I'm also very passionate about entrepreneurship. I used to run a local entrepreneurship meetup group, and I've been a part of tech accelerators and startup programs. So I just love seeing businesses thrive and people bring new ideas and make them grow. I want to see that happen here.
How's the campaign going?
You know, I'm doing a long shot campaign, and I'm self-funded, so my expectations are realistic, but I think there is a want for change. And there's also a want for getting incumbents out of office. The current license collector has been there for 3 terms already. She's running for a 4th term. I think it's time for a new generation of leadership in St. Louis.
And so are you running as a Democrat? Is this an open primary? How does it work in the city?
It is. This election is a partisan primary. I am a proud Democrat, and I'm running as a Democrat, but I'm a new type of Democrat. I think that we need new ideas, and I think sometimes the best answer for serving the people is shrinking government, not growing it.
Okay. Dylan Hassinger, you're also anti-data center. Why?
Well, I'm not anti all data centers, but definitely this one, because this is a grift, and this is a handout to the buddies of the connected insiders and lawyers in St. Louis. The Armory is a beautiful, majestic facility. It was built to serve the public. And it's been given tax increment financing and tax abatement, so it should continue to serve the public. We shouldn't be turning it into luxury office space. We should be turning into the Armory into something that people can go inside and experience this facility, which is a majestic building.
Well, that was tried and failed.
Well, that didn't really try very well. That was Green Street, which is a connected shop that does insider projects. Let's get a real business in there, or a real public function that's actually trying to stand on their own 2 feet and serve the public, and I bet it'll do really well. In another timeline, I think that building would have been a great rock and roll Hall of Fame. because that's where Tina Turner played. That's where Grateful Dead played their first concert in St. Louis. And that's where Arthur Ashe trained for the Olympics. So that should really do a function that serves the public. And I think that if we got a little more creative in St. Louis, we could have more wins like that.
So they're projecting that not the Army, but next to the Armory, I guess, and that whole area would generate $28 million in taxes for St. Louis, $36 million for the public schools. What entity, what business could you think would go in there that would generate that type of revenue for the city of St. Louis?
Well, those are lawyers bragging about their made-up numbers, and it doesn't factor in all the added costs that this facility will bring to the table. This will be a very large drain on our city infrastructure. So I don't really take those numbers at face value. But like I say, I think the Armory could be a public serving facility, and I think the Goodwill building would be a great residential facility. It's right next to SLU. Let's turn those into nice apartments and condos, and let's expand that residential district we have there. I think that seems like the obvious solution.
It's sat there vacant for a long time. If somebody wanted to do something like that, wouldn't they have already done it?
You know, I was radicalized when Mississippi Nights got torn down and turned into a casino parking lot. I think too often the St. Louis power brokers keep these gems for themselves and their buddies. And so I just don't think it's actually been tried on the free market. Let's let capitalism actually work, and let's open the doors and see what ideas could come to the table. I think that a lot of opportunities are there.
Would you be okay if they put a data center in the Railway Exchange building in downtown St. Louis?
I would be much more open to that conversation. I think that's an interesting idea.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're not opposed to data centers at all. You're just opposed to that location.
I think when you do any type of big, scary project, there needs to be something tangible the public gets out of it. If we're talking about renovating the Railway Exchange building, which I've been in as part of the T-Rex Accelerator, well, that's a big win. So I'm more open to scary projects there. Or again, with the AT&T building, there's another example. Or Hall Street. You know, there's plenty of industrial sites where we can talk about ideas like this. But when you're talking about taking one of the crown jewels and handing it over to Greater St. Louis Inc.'s buddies, no, I'm not down with that.
Yeah, I don't see the difference because, again, I get the Armory and the history of the Armory and that area. But again, let me ask you this question. Are you more open to a data center somewhere else because they're not proposing it somewhere else? See what I'm saying? I mean, you're more apt to say yes to something that's not being proposed as opposed to saying yes to something that is proposed.
And I recognize that you might think that, but no, it's about what's the trade-off. The public is not getting anything out of this Armory deal. In fact, we already paid to renovate the building with tax abatement and with tax increment financing. So now if we're talking about renovating something that's ramshackle, well, that's a different conversation. If we're talking about planting 1 million trees or building the first off-grid data center in the world or something like that, you know, or trying some new type of closed-loop water, you know, if there's something tangible we're getting out of it, I'm open to bending the rules. But in this case, it's just a handout. We're just taking one of the most centrally located, beautiful buildings and giving it to people that are connected to the lawyer network.
Well, they're not giving it to them. They're building out for a $3 billion build out, and then of course whatever the tax revenue is, it's significantly more than what's generating from that spot now.
You know, but I think we've already given them too much just by spending time on this community benefit agreement. That's valuable city employee and lawyer time that could have been used for some good project. Kara Spencer could be out there talking about something exciting. Instead, we're talking about a data center in a beautiful building. No, it's just a waste of our time and a waste of our energy. St. Louis, we can do better.
You know, during the Tashara Jones administration, they wanted to put something at Goodfellow and 70, construction staging area and a training facility for concrete, and Clayco wanted to do all that, and it was rejected because they wanted to save that spot for retail. And so they ended up building that spot somewhere in St. Louis County. And Goodfellow and 70 is still a vacant property, not being used for anything. So while you wait for the perfect project, you pass on a lot of good projects that would generate a lot of money for the city of St. Louis.
I mean, I recognize that, and I think that is an interesting case study to bring up. I'm not super familiar with that case. I don't know if there was any air pollution concerns, but if there wasn't, I would agree. Maybe we should have green-lighted that. But again, this wasn't ever put to the free market. This has been kept with Green Street and now Greater St. Louis Inc. Instead, let's actually say, hey, what are some ideas? Businesses, come here. We haven't actually opened the doors to opportunity. We're just keeping the ground jewels for the insider network.
It was this data center in the city of St. Louis off of 70. It was voted on unanimously by the Board of Aldermen, was it not?
Again, I'm not familiar with that particular case. I'm just a dude in South City that's frustrated with how our city's run, and I saw an opportunity to get involved, and I'm doing what I can to get involved.
You would argue, though, that there would be, with a data center, you would argue it would generate significantly more revenue and taxes than anything else you are proposing. You would agree with that, right?
I mean, I wouldn't agree with that, again, because there's going to be infrastructure costs. And because these numbers were cooked up by people that have a conflict of interest because they want this to go through. So I just don't trust the lawyers' numbers. And I think there's got to be a better use of these centrally located facilities right next to a university. It doesn't make sense to turn them into a data center. Actually,
The data centers don't use a lot of infrastructure, and there aren't a lot of social, right? I mean, an apartment complex uses more than a data center does in terms of water and pollution and trash and everything else than a data center.
You know, I'm not an expert on these things. I'm trying to learn, but as I read what nomodatacenters.com is saying and what Tina Peel and the other appellants are saying in their appeals, it seems like there are legitimate environmental concerns about infrastructure usage and about the heat that will be generated from these air conditioning units that will get in the surrounding area. There's also been a cost in demolition. There's historic structures around the Armory that have been demolished in the last year. One historic LGBTQ facility, and these have been, trying to get more access back to that, just to, again, serve these developers. So I think there's so many hidden costs when we do these silver bullet projects.
Okay, now you're changing your argument, though. Now you're saying that it's infrastructure costs and all these things. We would have those same problems if we did the Railway Exchange building or some other building.
Sure.
But which is it? Which is it? Is it the environmental concerns or just the historic nature of that building?
In this case, it's the size of the data center. It would be the largest in St. Louis. So I would not think we should turn the entire Railway Exchange building into a data center, but to take a floor or two, which in fact in the past there was a data center startup in there that I knew about. That there are possibilities there. It's a huge building. Again, I'm not no data center. I'm just that it needs to be a trade-off, and the public needs to be confident that they're getting their money's worth.
Dylan Hassinger. Dylan, what's your website for your St. Louis City license collector campaign?
DylanforstLouis.com. Appreciate your consideration on August 4th.
Dylan Hassinger, thanks for checking in, as always. Anytime. You're welcome here.
Thanks so much for the time.
You got it. 817, Big 550, KTRS. St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Good morning, Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, an accident on 64 West at Big Bend is causing stop-and-go traffic back to Hampton. Estimated clearance time is 9 o'clock. 64 East bogs down from 170 to Big Bend. 270 North is heavy and just a little slow from Big Bend to Manchester. 5570 East is reduced to one lane between the 64 Route 3 split and Exchange. We also have road work on 5570 East between Illinois 111 and Fairmont. And there's road work on 5570 West between 255 and Illinois 203. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. If the severe storms have you saying, oh, hail, bring your car, truck, SUV, or van to Dents Express for a free hail damage repair evaluation. Dents Express will have your ride looking like new again, and they'll even take care of the insurance paperwork. That's Dents Express at dentsexpressstl.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
from the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk. Local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch with your first alert forecast. We are in a first alert weather day once again this afternoon, as we are going to see the potential for some strong to severe storms from 2 p.m. lasting towards the overnight hours. So looking at the possibility of some strong winds as the primary threat, could see the possibility of some flooding, and yes, even a secondary threat of some large hail and a few isolated weak tornadoes. So we'll continue to keep you up to date with that information. Temperatures back towards the lower 90s today. More chances of showers and storms Friday lasting into Saturday morning. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk South Pacific, because that is the new musical going on at the Muni. The Muni in Forest Park. That's right. You've got South Pacific. You still got Newsies, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations, Meet Me in St. Louis, and they're going to finish the season with Something Rotten. Listen to this. South Pacific getting rave reviews. They've even got some St. Louisans who are on the stage as well. Nothing better than the Muni during the summer. Don't let the heat deter you. They got the fans, and once the sun goes down, it's actually pretty nice outside in the shade there. They got plenty of trees, plenty of fans, and well, it's hot. It's St. Louis in the summer. That's part of the fun of going to the Muni. And don't forget about Lionel Richie. Yeah, they got Lionel Richie tickets still available as well. The Muni.org. Either check out the Muni, the Metrotix, the box office, Muni.org, or oftentimes the box office right there, they're great. They're able to mix and match, and I want these tickets, but I want more tickets, or now my aunt's going, so I need a third ticket, whatever it may be. Metrotix or Muni.org. And this week, South Pacific at the Muni. We'll see you there, the Muni.org.
Things in Washington, D.C. may seem unsettled at times by their lack of progress, but one department in the U.S. government is progressing. That is the IRS. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. The IRS is in full function to collect on unpaid taxes. If you've been putting off a tax problem, it's time to call the Lance Story Law Firm and get it resolved. Don't think the government is too busy to focus on my issues. Too many of my clients thought the same. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Lance Story Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Remember, if you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Lance Story Law Firm. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Or call 314-260-6120 or visit LanceStoryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Meet me at the Village Bar. Ready for the world's best cheeseburger, homemade onion rings, trashed wings? It's the Village Bar for food and sports. Cards, blues, Mizzou, NFL, the game's always on. Open 7 days a week in De Pere. Grab your friends, grab a cold beer. We'll see you at the Village Bar.
Is it time to make a change with your bank? Hi, it's Julie Buck for Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution with 2 locations, and they've been around since 2005 with a mission to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services. Here's their website. It's triadbanking.com.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
$8:23 here, Big 550 KTRS. Antonio French, St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Columnist, sits in the editorial board, and is also, dare we say, a reform politician. Good morning, Antonio French.
Hey, good morning.
These Cori Bush ads and Wesley Bell ads are starting to heat up, and I find this so fascinating. She's the progressive. He's the more conservative in all of this. What do you make as these two go with round two for the battle for the only really Democratic seat in Congress here in Missouri?
Yeah, round two indeed. It's a repeat of what we saw a couple of years ago. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, obviously, Cori Bush still has a base, and there's still, a lot of Democrats still far left leaning in the region, and a lot of money coming in from outside to make sure that those issues are still on the agenda here in St. Louis. I do think, though, I mean, if I had to bet, I think that the current incumbent, is likely to be sent back. I just think that experiment that St. Louis went on, this kind of socialist democratic experiment the last few years, I think people have seen the results of that, and I don't know if there's that many people that want to go back. I think people are looking for actual real change and folks that can get down to business without all the extra stuff. And there was a lot of extra stuff with Cori Bush. And Cori Bush is associated also, too, with that period that includes Kim Gardner, Tashara Jones. And I don't know if the flavor is really there to go backwards now.
It's interesting because Wesley Bell came onto the scene and took on Bob McCullough, and he was the progressive, and he was the one who was going to be the change, right? And now 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, whatever it is, now he's the incumbent. It's interesting how the whole image of somebody changes from he was once the progressive, but now he's the establishment.
And amazingly, that he doesn't have to change policies at all. It's just it's all relative, I guess. So somebody who is considered progressive in one year, all of a sudden the politics of the party or the politics of the day have shifted so much one way or the other that now, they're a moderate and they're not extreme enough or not progressive enough. By most of the standards of when you and I have been around, he supports abortion rights. He supports liberal positions that we thought were the cornerstones of progressive thought. But the idea of you got to go all the way to extremes, frankly, to the point of almost making you unelectable outside of the St. Louis region limits in the state of Missouri. Which is why Democrats have lost all power up in Jefferson City. So I think there has been a movement in the last few years to kind of shift back to the middle a bit, and I think that's what Wesley Bell represents. It's more boring, He's not been in the headlines as much as his predecessor was. But that's kind of what a lot of people want right now, just somebody who's doing the work and all the other stuff people have gotten a little tired of.
Well, and Cori Bush, she was so far left, she voted against the Biden infrastructure bill because it was, for whatever reason, which kind of didn't make any sense. And then she was also in favor of defunding the Pentagon, and Boeing was her largest employer in her district. So why would you send somebody to Washington to vote against federal spending of roads and infrastructure and against your biggest employer? It kind of goes against any type of sense.
Yeah, and that's the problem with a lot of this politics that is just based off of kind of an ideology, especially like a national flavor that doesn't really fit the local district. So when you're getting to the point where your congressperson is voting against one of the largest employers in her district, or going to crime-ridden neighborhoods, talking about defund the police. I have never been in a community neighborhood where people in that neighborhood were asking for less police. They've always asked for more police. So the politics just is not matching the district. And I think that's where Cori Bush got in trouble. I don't know if she learned that lesson, because I see the messaging is still pretty much in the same kind of vein, but I don't think that's where the district is. But we'll see. That's why we have elections.
Yeah, it's the only Democratic-leaning district after they redrew the maps. And I don't necessarily think you went into the granular and looked at the block-by-block map, but did it get a little more purple? Right? Did they split some of that progressive vote in some of those other districts, so it's now more of a traditional district, or do they throw all the Democrats in there, and so it might even be more left than it is center?
Well, for Cori Bush and her base, listen, it's hard to draw a map where they are going to be a majority, especially if you're including St. Louis County. You'd have to narrow it down to a very specific few areas in St. Louis City, maybe a little tiny part of North County. But the politics of this area and this region is much more moderate than Cori Bush's politics, in my opinion. And again, we'll see. So I think the redrawing helps for a more moderate conservative candidate, which is like Wesley Bell.
Yeah, we'll wait and see how it all turns out. Antonio French, good stuff. As always, have a good weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
You got it. Antonio French every Tuesday and every Thursday. It's 8:31. St. Louis by the Company Traffic Center. Here's Scott Paul.
64 West at Big Bend has been cleared, with 64 West still slow between Clayton, Skinker, and Big Bend. 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend. 270 North is looking good from South County to Town and Country. 5570 East is reduced to one lane between the 64 Route 3 split and Exchange. We also have road work on 5570 East between Illinois 111 and Fairmont. And there's road work on 5570 West between 255 and Illinois 203. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
80 degrees right now, headed up to upper 80s, hazy, hot, and humid. It's going to be a carbon copy of yesterday, and yesterday it was hot. Make sure you're checking on your neighbors, because whether you got air conditioning or not, maybe it's on the fritz, but it is going to be another scorcher. Upper 80s, high humidity, and small chance of afternoon thunderstorms today. Right now, it's 80 officially. At 8:31, back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
A family is demanding an independent probe after an ICE officer fatally shot a man in Houston. Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was driving to a construction job Tuesday morning when he was killed. Ukrainian drones hit more Russian oil facilities and set 2 oil tankers ablaze. This comes a day after President Donald Trump pledged to grant Ukraine a license to manufacture the Patriot air defense systems. In local headlines, MoDOT will host an open house-style meeting today to discuss the Route 94 and Route D improvement project. The meeting will be held from 4 this afternoon until 6 this evening at the Weldon Springs Site Interpretive Center. And a ribbon-cutting ceremony will be held tomorrow to celebrate the completion of the new sports courts at Weiner Park in Shrewsbury. The completed project features 1 new tennis court and 2 new pickleball courts. 79 degrees. Time now is 8:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Let's talk flowers. Let's talk Walter Knoll. You need flowers? You need Walter Knoll is what you need right there. Walter Knoll gets better flowers, better pricing. And the summer months, right, a lot of anniversaries, a lot of weddings. And you have to start planning the weddings. Walter Knoll, do you know that Walter Knoll has a whole department just for weddings? Sit down with the wedding planners, and they'll figure out what to do with the church, what to do with the rehearsal dinner, what to do with the reception. All of that will be taken care of with Walter Knoll Florists. And, of course, they'll do it with the style that you've come to expect and the pricing that's always good. Walter Knoll does it right. And that's why they are so successful as a local florist. Now, local, they're pretty big. They're all over the place. WKF.com. And so they use that power to help out in pricing and style and design, and longtime employees that know how to arrange the flowers. So you're always getting better flowers and better pricing at Walter Knoll. So for all of your floral needs, whether it's anniversaries, weddings, bar mitzvahs, centerpieces, kids going off to college, you want a nice little gift package for them, let Walter Knoll help you out. Check out the website, WKF.com, 1-800-341-ROSE. Let Walter Knoll be your family florist.
Summer is here. Time to relax with friends and family. Vacations, barbecues, pool days. But for thousands of our neighbors in the St. Louis area, hunger doesn't take a vacation. Mental health struggles don't pause for summer break. And for those experiencing homelessness, every day is still about finding safety, food, shelter, and hope. At Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis, we're here all year long, helping families put meals on the table, supporting those in crisis, and walking alongside our most vulnerable neighbors. But Catholic Charities can't do it without you. This summer, while you're making memories, help someone else find hope. Visit ccstl.org and make your gift today. That's ccstl.org. Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis. Compassion never takes a vacation. ccstl.org.
Hi, it's Julie Buck. You know, many people know Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital for its inpatient services, but its outpatient therapy program is also helping children thrive. Specializing in care for children with complex medical needs, Rankin Jordan offers physical, occupational, speech, and aquatic therapy in a welcoming, fun environment. The hospital is also home to the region's only warm water pediatric therapy pool, and parents can get in too. To find out more, talk to your doctor or visit rankinjordan.org.
I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I want to buy your home. Any property, any condition, and always as is. I will pay top dollar with no contingencies and no inspections. You walk away with cash. So don't waste time and money making repairs and paying real estate commissions. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Or go to robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
Got gold? Get green at Jewels on Hampton. Jewels on Hampton pays the most for your precious metals, jewelry, gems, currency, antiques, and collectibles. Jewels on Hampton buys precious and semi-precious gems and stones, scrap gold, and sterling silver. Jewels on Hampton buys and sells paper money, wristwatches, and pocket watches. They even take pianos and cars. To sum up, bring your gold chains, bracelets, rings, coins, dental gold, and more to Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton Avenue in St. Louis. And get green. Online at jewelsonhampton.com.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
The tradition continues on Saturday, July 25th, when the Cardinals play the Cincinnati Reds. That day, you can take home the fan favorite Victory Blue jersey, just like the one the Cardinals wear every road Saturday, presented by Stiefel. It's a clean, classic look that stands out all season long. Available in medium and extra large while supplies last. Step into Saturday in Victory Blue. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Michael McGreevy. See you at Busch Stadium.
Looking for your next favorite place? Head to Big Chief's Roadhouse on historic Route 66 in Wildwood. Relax on the beautiful patio, discover the hidden speakeasy, and enjoy fresh garden-to-table flavors straight from Big Chief's own gardens. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends, there's something for everyone. Visit BigChiefSTL.com, call 636-458-3200, or stop by today and experience one of Route 66's true dining destinations at Big Chief Roadhouse on Route 66.
Now back to McGraw, presented by London Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS. It's now time for the Press Box with Frank Cusimano on the McGraw-Millhaven Show on the Big 550 KTRS, powered by Walter Knoll Florist. We know Flowers.
Hey, what are you doing this Friday? Listen, this is a pretty sweet deal. Don't let the bad weather get you down, and don't let the bad weather keep you in the house. When the sun goes down, the weather gets kind of nice. This weekend, they have the family movie night at Westport Plaza, part of the KTRS Christmas in July. It starts at 6 p.m. That's face painting and concessions. They got the stage show at 7, and then the movie, Cars, starts at 7:45. It's open to the public and free. Help Out Catholic Charities bring a new unwrapped toy or non-perishable item for the families in need. It's all part of the KTRS in July promotion, sponsored by Royal Banks of Missouri. It's this Friday. Movie starts at 7:45. Concession and face painting starts at 6. For more info, KTRS.com. Frank Cusimano joins us for a couple minutes. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning. Did you have Rue McClanahan on from Golden Girls? I just saw her picture.
That's Rose. Rose, part of Rose's contract, we did not negotiate the internet rights.
Oh,
so her face is not allowed on KTRS
so you're going
Radio.
with her instead of like Victoria Principal or Mary Tyler Moore, huh?
Well, usually it's a rotating of the Golden Girls. It's usually,
okay.
yeah, sometimes it's Maude, sometimes it's somebody else, but
Betty White.
Betty White, yeah.
Very nice.
So there you go. Let's talk Cardinals. And boy, how about first of all, a 5-game series with the Brewers? You don't see that very often.
No, and like I don't know what's worse, like opening up your door and seeing the 60 Minutes cameras rolling, or the Brewers coming to your town to play your baseball team. Fortunately, last night it worked out good.
McGreevy looked good.
Yeah, I looked this up late last night. He's had 18 starts, and in 15 of those, he's allowed 3 runs or less.
Oh, nice.
And his record is not glitzy because they don't hit when he pitches for some odd reason. But this guy is really good. His ERA is 3.01.
Yeah.
I used to think like he's got a little Jeff Suppan in him. Not electrifying stuff, but really effective. I think he's probably better than Suppan.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's maybe Bob Tewksbury when he was really good.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, he's still right. This is his rookie year.
Yeah, he's 26 years old. Just turned 26 last night.
Yeah.
So.
Looks like a baby. Looks like a 15-year-old. But no, you can't argue with that.
I said, "What's it like, being out on the mound and throwing 6 pitches?" And then he says, "No, I throw 7 pitches." So he literally throws 7 different pitches.
Yeah.
And he's the smartest guy. He's the best interview. It's like cheating interviewing him. You can't get some words out of some guys in the locker room.
Right.
Like all we ask for is like nouns and verbs. And he gives you like prose every time.
Nice. Speaking of that, how about Jordan Walker? I remember you sitting in that seat earlier in spring training saying, "Oh, man, this is not good." They sent him back to the hitting lab. Now they're sending him to the All-Star game.
Yeah, I remember like Mike Claiborne. I was talking to him when he was in Jupiter, and I said, "Why hasn't Walker played for a while?" He goes, "Well, they shut him down. They're putting him in the hitting lab. He's not going to play anymore." I mean, it was so bad in spring training. And you compound that with 2 miserable years where statistically he was like one of the 5 worst players in baseball. It's shocking. But I'll just say this. He's 6'6", 250, as smart as a whip, a hard worker with great character. Usually that mix, finds a way to kick in.
And you got to hand it to the Cardinals for not giving up on him and just let him sort of figure it out.
You are so right about that. And Ali Marmol is one of the great relational managers I've ever been around. And the whole belief, hey, you can do this. Now, they're trying to do the same thing with Nolan Gorman. I'm not sure if that's going to work out. But it has with somebody like Palante, with Jordan Walker. We'll see what it does with Libator. But the Cardinals' patience is a virtue.
I don't understand why people are against Marmol. Everything about the guy I love.
Yeah, like last year at the end, people wanted it to be a package deal, Mozeliak and Marmol. We need a whole new thing.
Yeah.
And look, like Whitey Herzog with that group, when you're trotting out Eric Fetty, an ineffective Palante and Michaelis could not have won with that group. Whitey couldn't have.
Well, and you and I lived through the Tony La Russa years. How many people wanted La Russa fired, and he was considered one of the greatest managers of all time?
Oh, my goodness. And I was right in the heart of that doing talk radio, and the people would just second guess him, and I'd remind them, there's only 2 managers in the history of baseball who won more games. So he's special. By the way, with Whitey and Tony, can I tell you this, that I interviewed Whitey probably 25 times. I never interviewed him one time without him saying, well, Tony had quite a payroll. He really had good players. There was all this little rivalry. We had this red ribbon committee where a group of us put together the Hall of Fame ballot and vote on the veteran. And Whitey and Tony used to be in there at the same time. And it was so good because they would argue, Whitey would be arguing for Tommy Herr and LaRussa would be arguing for Tony LaRussa. I mean, it was like, LaRussa would be arguing for Edgar Renteria.
Right.
And those guys going back and forth, there was always like just a little bit of friction there. It was cool.
Well, but they were taking care of their players, though.
It's right.
Yeah.
Loyalty to the end.
Hey, I got to ask you about the Monster Energy Big 12.
Yeah, it's just a way to generate revenue, more and more
so
money.
So their official name is now the Monster Energy Big 12?
Yeah. And there's going to be on jerseys, on fields for men's basketball, women's basketball, football. Yeah, all they're doing is looking for a way to generate more revenue to pay their players.
At some point, they're going to become a competitive league to the NFL, are they not? Why 5 years? Well, why not just make it 8 years, 10 years? Why? I mean, what? They're changing all the rules. Why do you have to have 5 years of eligibility or 4 years of eligibility?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah, I'm not sure.
As usual. What's on the show today?
Today, we are going to talk a lot about... What do we got today? Okay,
Let me ask you this question.
We have Tom Holly and Rich Grauer in for the Control Option Press Box.
Good.
And we're going to have, our Travis Noble talking all the hot issues in law, including the terrible situation with Charlie Kirk, and he's going to break down that trial.
All right. Real quick, on a lighter note.
And Jeff Drew, Man About Town.
Your movie segment with your guy from Channel 5.
Tor Khan.
That is such a great segment.
Thank you.
I want to steal that segment. I mean, that is it is so fascinating. He's so good.
Yeah, we went to Devil Wears Prada. I was kind of against that because I'm a guy who spent my life interviewing Dick Butkus and, Hulk Hogan and Cam Jansen. And all of a sudden but I watched it and I did like it a lot. Have you seen the second one? Anybody?
I have not seen the second one. I haven't seen the first one.
I've seen neither of them.
You lost it a long time ago, my friend.
Well, there were some attractive girls in that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Cusimano, the comedy stylings of Frank Cusimano, starting at 10 here. Frank, get back to work. Thanks for checking in. 845, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky, take it away.
McGraw 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend. 70 East is slow between Highway 47 in Warrenton and Wright City. 5570 East is reduced to one lane between the 64 Route 3 split and Exchange. We also have road work on 5570 East between Illinois 111 and Fairmont. And there's road work on 5570 West between 255 and Illinois 203. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Hot and humid Thursday, high of 93, but it's a First Alert weather day because of a chance of a few storms in the afternoon to evening that could be severe. These may be hit and miss, but they can hit hard, so let's be weather aware for a severe storm afternoon to evening on Thursday. Friday, some scattered storms likely again, especially in the afternoon to evening with a high of 89. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's check Kevin Lloyd, Legacy Wealth Advisors. Would you like to retire so you can listen to Frank Cusimano all day long, every day? All you need to do is check in with Kevin Lloyd. Look, when you retire, it's interesting because that's when the government is salivating and they say, "Whoa, we let you put all this money in tax-free for all these years." Guess what? Now you're going to take it out, and now we get our cut because we let you put it in for $1. You're going to take out $5, and we're going to tax you. Okay, that's not good. That's why you need to talk to somebody like Kevin Lloyd, because Kevin Lloyd uses things like dynamic withdrawals and uses things as his financing background has, right? His investment background and his tax background is able to sort of navigate both the left hand and the right hand to take the money out in the most tax-efficient way. Do you know how to take your money out in the most tax-efficient way? I don't think so. That's why you have Kevin Lloyd. That's why you sit down with him, and he comes up with a true financial plan. He will reduce your tax liability. He won't avoid paying taxes. He'll reduce your tax liability. Avoiding taxes is illegal, but reducing your tax liability is perfectly legal. He'll increase your Social Security check, help you with all of those things. What are you waiting for? Are you retired? Time to call Kevin Lloyd. If you're close to retirement, now's the time to call Kevin Lloyd. 314-641-1010 or the website whenretirementhappens.com.
Hi, this is Jason Hughes with TR Hughes Homes, and we are currently offering half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs on brand new to-be-built homes at select TR Hughes communities. That's right, half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs. Visit trhughes.com for details. That's trhughes.com.
The choice of a home builder is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
However, you really should visit trhughes.com.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group, and as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
Are you ready to begin your home purchase journey in 2026? The Royal Banks of Missouri Mortgage Team is here to help you every step of the way. Their local lenders offer competitive rates and personalized support so you can focus on creating the space of your dreams. Discover how Royal Banks of Missouri can partner with you to unlock the door to your new home. Call 314-212-1500 to learn how they can help find the right home loan for you. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Now back to McGraw, presented by London Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
That TV show scared the heck out of me.
It was like a soap opera parody.
I don't know what it was, but like the few times I would like get up in the middle of the night and run downstairs because I had a bad dream or something. They were watching this or it was on, and it was like a weird set. It was like her kitchen. Yeah, it was. The whole thing was creepy.
What is it?
Mary Hartman. I don't know all I know is that it was scary, and I remember Mary Hartman. That's the only thing I remember.
Well,
but the woman died?
Yeah, Louise Lasser, she passed away this week. On Thursdays, we do a TV theme song, and this week it's topical.
Was this what kind of, like a show?
Was it syndication?
It was a syndicated, Norman Lear created it.
Okay.
It was a syndicated soap opera that was on for only a year and a half.
Yeah, it was a little creepy. It was on like one of the independent stations in New York.
Was it? It wasn't like a dark. You said a satire.
Yes.
It was a dark comedy.
It was dark. Like she was addicted to pills and.
Yeah, all I remember it was kind of a creepy back sync set and. Yeah,
and this is a Norman Lear. Was this his his side project of getting away from?
They all can't be winners,
right? Well,
yeah.
It just seems like a large jump from his normal stuff.
Yeah,
right. But then she hosted one of the last episodes of the first season of Saturday Night Live. The first season of Saturday Night Live is romanticized, but her episode is really not good. She was the first person to get banned from Saturday Night Live.
All right, can we rethink the TV show theme show Thursdays?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be upbeat and happy and peppy.
I'm sorry
Mary
she
Hartman,
died.
Mary Hartman.
Now,
I'm thinking like Hawaii Five-0 or Mannix or, Bewitched or something.
Next week, something up-tempo.
And then there's Maude, Archie Bunker, something, right? But Mary Hartman is not what comes to people's minds when they think of TV tunes.
I think we should do game show theme songs, too, and throw that in there for
game
funsies.
Game show theme song?
Yes.
Game show theme Friday?
Yes.
Or game show Wednesday?
Yeah, because some of those are so, you'd be like, wait, let's make a deal. Or things that you forgot about. Or Matchmaker and all these fun ones.
Joker's Wild.
Chuck Fairbanks. No.
Chuck Woolery?
No. I got Fairbanks. Who did the Newlywed Game?
Newlywed.
Not. It wasn't.
It was. It wasn't Chuck Woolery.
He did Love Connection.
My goodness, the man who hosted the newlywed game?
Bob Eubanks.
Bob Eubanks. Thank you very much. Bob Eubanks gave me the greatest piece of advice in my career. He was in studio, and I don't know what he was promoting, but he was the producer for the Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl.
Wow.
He produced that album, which at one point, maybe still, the best-selling album in the history of albums. He mortgaged his house and produced the Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl. Yeah, Bob Eubanks.
He was a manager.
Game show host Bob Eubanks?
Yeah.
He also managed Dolly Parton, Barbara Mandrell, and Marty Robbins.
Yeah, he was a really interesting guy. I don't know if he's still alive. But
he is not.
He passed away?
Oh, no. He is. Oh, hold on. Yes, he is 88 years old.
God love him. He was in studio one time promoting something. And on the break, we were chatting. And he looked at me. We're going back 20 years. He looked at me and he said, I want to tell you something that you should know. If I had to do it all over again, I would be a local talk show host. I would be a local radio talk show host. He says, you have the best job in America. And I said, you're Bob Eubanks. You're huge. You produced the Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl. What are you talking about? He says to me, the greatest thing about a local talk show host is when you want to get tickets to a concert, when you need a table at a restaurant, when you need to cut in front of the line, there's a very good chance you can have that done. You can call somebody, you can get somebody. When you need to, you can finagle your way into whatever. Am I right? And I'm like, yeah, no, I buy that. He says, but when you're doing something wrong and you're not where you're supposed to be, guess what? No one knows who you are. He says you are as famous as you need to be. A local talk show host doesn't need to be any more famous. And I was like, wow, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense.
He's like, gee, Bob, how'd you come to that conclusion? Done some bad stuff in your life? Let's discuss this.
Bob Eubanks married 4 times.
No, he was married twice.
Okay.
He's still married to one of them.
But I thought that was just really, really interesting advice. That he's like I would never want to be as famous as I was because you can't do the things. Mm-hmm. Anonymity allows you to do certain things that if you were famous you couldn't do.
Yeah, that's what I love about radio.
Yeah, no, there's something to be said for that. Now I also know when you're in the supermarket and you're running or you have to get home because the house is on fire and you bump into somebody and they're like, oh, I can't believe that Millhaven, what a rude guy, right?
Sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're
right.
Definitely sure.
Yeah,
of course.
So you live your life
thing,
and
yeah.
Emerson's being something and I'm trying to discipline her in the frozen food aisle and I was like, boy, that McGraw is a terrible father.
Have you ever had somebody recognize you just from your voice?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty. It's pretty interesting. That would happen a lot to Dad, where people in the grocery aisle, in an aisle over, just him talking to us, coming over, going, "Are you radio?" You know what I mean? It was just really impressed because that's all they,
My cousin JR told me this story. Who wrote the Tender Bar? He told me this story last week when we were hanging out together. He said his oldest daughter was being born. His oldest daughter was being born, and he's in the operating room. And his wife is on the gurney, or right there's whatever she's right. This child's about to be born, and he's in the mask and he's in the room, and a nurse comes up to him and says, "I know who you are." And he's like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you." And she says, "I'm from Manhasset. I read the Tender Bar, and there wasn't enough lacrosse in this book." And he's trying to console this woman while his wife is giving birth to his daughter.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? My wife is screaming over here trying to in labor. But you're right.
It happens.
And as a celebrity, right? People, you'd be surprised, right? That people just.
But he's having his baby delivered, and he has to answer to not enough lacrosse. In the,
Isn't that
in
funny,
the book,
though? And you wouldn't think
Bar.
you'd have to tell people that they would realize, maybe now's not the best time, right? But people just.
Your
Hey,
memoir.
can you sign this for
your
me?
memoir did not have enough about my life in your memoir.
Was she being serious?
Totally serious.
Lacrosse?
Totally serious. She was upset that there wasn't enough lacrosse in the book.
And I would love to hear what he said.
He was like, I was like, you were really nice to her. He's like, oh, I apologized to her 100 different times. And he was like, now can I get back to my wife who's about to give birth? Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, we are accident free, but 64 east bogs down around 170. 70 east is slow between Highway 47 in Warrenton and Wright City. 5570 east is reduced to one lane between the 64 Route 3 split and Exchange. We also have road work on 5570 east between Illinois 111 and Fairmont, and more road work on 5570 west between 255 and Illinois 203. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Stewart at Stewart's American Mortgage, because if you are looking for a mortgage, let's say you found the house, now you have to find a mortgage. If you're a real estate agent, if you're mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa, you know that getting a mortgage can be a laborious task. And so this is why you need to help the kids out there. Stewart at Stewart's American Mortgage has something called the Bagel Loan, which means you do not get charged any fees. Interest rates are what they are. There's nothing you can do about it. They're elevated a little bit, but traditionally they're still really pretty good, all things considered. But you have to pay an extra $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 in fees to get that mortgage. Not when you use Stewart, and not when it's over $200,000. It's the Bagel Loan. He can help you make that offer a little bit sweeter so you can get the house you want by manipulating that fee that you're not paying. He can help offer all sorts of things because that fee is not in there, giving you a little more wiggle room. He's helped me all sorts of times. When you refinance the Bagel Loan, when you purchase with the Bagel Loan, call Stewart, 314-324-4440. Grandma and Grandpa, tell the grandkids. Mom and dad, they're right. The young families just looking for a house. Help them out. Tell them about Stewart and send them off to Stewart so that they can benefit from the Bagel Loan. 314-324-4440 or stewartsamc.com. 9 o'clock KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Former U.S. Olympian David Hearn has just appeared in D.C. Superior Court and pleaded not guilty through his attorney to the felony charge he faces for allegedly damaging the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. Outside the courtroom in Washington, there were protests in support of David Hearn, whose lawyer says the felony charge against his client is ridiculous. In Houston on Wednesday night, a large crowd marching through the city in protest of another ICE-involved fatal shooting. ABC's John Quinones reports from Houston.
A Mexican national, Salgado Araujo, had been living in the U.S. for more than 3 decades. His family saying he was a construction worker on his way to a work site in his van with other laborers. ICE officials said they were attempting to stop his car as part of a targeted enforcement operation. His family says he was close to obtaining legal status.
Immigration officials say the man tried to run them over with his vehicle, an allegation the family denies. The family's calling for a full independent investigation. Maine Democratic Senate candidate Graham Plattner out, the Democratic Party in, very busy finding a replacement after accusations of sex assault.
As he announced his intent to depart from the race, the embattled candidate insisted the allegations against him aren't true.
This is all false.
In an 11-minute online video, Graham Plattner defiantly said the decision to suspend his campaign was effectively made for him by the party establishment.
It is a system that is built structurally to make sure that movements like ours cannot flourish.
Maine's Democratic Party will now hold a convention to choose a new candidate to take on incumbent Republican Senator Susan Collins. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Renewed airstrikes against Iran overnight, and Iran retaliating by firing on U.S. military facilities in Kuwait, Bahrain, and Qatar. You're listening to ABC News.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis, the station you have depended on for 3 decades. We are the talk of St. Louis.
Home equity loans are home everything loans at Neighbors Credit Union. Home improvements, vacations, education, even debt consolidation. Anything and everything you have planned can be made easier with my friends at Neighbors Credit Union. With the flexibility of a home equity line of credit at Neighbors Credit Union, you can enjoy a great introductory rate for the first 12 months. The possibilities are endless. Stop by one of the 8 area locations or apply online at neighborscu.org.
Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 509288. Call 800-325-2697 for complete account and cost details.
81 degrees at 9:03. The cause of a 2-alarm fire at a Lincoln County apartment complex is being investigated. Firefighters were called to the burning building along Killdeer Circle near Moscow Mills just after midnight. All of the residents were evacuated safely. The fire caused significant damage to several units at the complex. The St. Louis County Department of Public Health is reporting the first West Nile activity of the season. KTRS's Jill Enders has the story. St. Louis County has announced the recommendation of more than $3.5 million in community development block grant funding. The funding aims to support projects that strengthen neighborhoods, expands opportunities for children and families, improves public infrastructure, and addresses critical community needs across the region. Administered through the St. Louis County Department of Human Services Office of Community Development, the funds are allocated annually by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to support local projects that benefit low and moderate income residents and improve community conditions. Among the recipients are Room at the Inn, Lee May Child and Family Center, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and St. Louis County Parks and Recreation. The St. Louis Zoo is welcoming a pair of new residents. KTRS's David Solomon has more.
2 male western lowland gorillas are moving to the St. Louis Zoo. 10-year-old Gus and 8-year-old Bacavo are headed to St. Louis from the Fort Worth Zoo as part of a program to manage a genetically healthy population of the western lowland gorillas in North America. The 2 newcomers will have a chance to get acclimated to their new habitat behind the scenes before joining a bachelor gorilla troupe at the Jungle of the Apes later this year. David Solomon, KTRS News.
Art Grants has awarded a $100,000 funding to Org Acuity, a St. Louis-based startup with a mission of making advanced people analytics accessible to organizations of every size. Since its launch in 2021, the Growth Grants program has helped Art Grants' top-performing portfolio companies secure follow-on capital, expand operations, and deepen their roots in the region. To date, the program has awarded more than $2 million to 23 startups. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs, and you can place your order anytime at WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. You can tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 right here on the Big 550. The Dow is up 66 points to 52,400. The S&P is up 32 points to 7,600. And the NASDAQ is up 189 points to 26,100. In KTRS Sports, Alec Burleson homered and drove in 3 as the Cardinals snap a 4-game losing streak, finally beating the Brewers 5-1. Michael McGreevy earned his 4th win on his 26th birthday for the Redbirds. Mizzou basketball and Dennis Gates have added another storied program to their non-conference slate. The Tigers and Indiana Hoosiers will reportedly tangle in Bloomington on Friday, December 18th. It looks to be a one-off matchup with no return trip to Columbia scheduled. In KTRS Time Saver traffic. Let's go to the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center for a look at the roads where we find Captain Paul Kopsky standing by.
Rose 64 East slows down around 170. 70 East is slow between Highway 47 in Warrenton and Wright City. 5570 East is reduced to one lane between 64 and the Route 3 split and exchange. We also have road work on 5570 East between Illinois 111 and Fairmount. And more road work on 5570 West between 255 and Illinois 203, with traffic jam between 255 and Black Lane. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch or happy hour, or have the Rack House cater your next event with box lunches or buffets to accommodate groups of 10 to 200 people. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. In KTRS weather, mostly cloudy today with a high of 93. Rain and storms with an overnight low of 75 tonight. And tomorrow, scattered storms possible with a high of 88. Currently 81 degrees at 9:08. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Summer is a time to relax with friends and family. Vacations, barbecues, pool days, even movie nights. But for thousands of our neighbors in the St. Louis area, their struggles don't take a vacation. That's why all of us here at KTRS are partnering with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis for a Christmas in July promotion.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. We'll be co-hosting a family movie night at Westport Plaza on July 10th for a free viewing of Disney's Cars. Come out and enjoy the movie on the massive screen at Westport Plaza and bring an unwrapped toy or non-perishable item for Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis.
Whew, only 10 million more lists to go.
This summer, while you're making memories, help someone else find hope. Come out to the Westport Plaza movie night on July 10th or visit ccstl.org and make a donation today. It's the Royal Banks of Missouri Christmas in July promotion on the Big 550 KTRS.
Presented by AAA Home Services, T.R. Hughes Homes, Outdoor Living, and Neighbors Credit Union.
It's the GOAT! The greatest of all trade-in events at HW Kia. Bring your trade now and get up to $5,000 over book value for it. If your trade is old, tired, stinky, or being held together by duct tape and a prayer, HW Kia wants it. Paid off or not, bring that old goat in to HW Kia. Then drive home a new HW Kia K4 for just $189 a month. Yes, only $189 a month on a 24-month lease. It's the HW Kia GOAT event. The greatest of all trade-in events. Get up to $5,000 over book value for your trade now. New K4, just $189 a month. HW Kia in the heart of West County on Manchester Road. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in an HW Kia. Start now at hwkia.com. Summer sticker sales event. With approved credit to well-qualified buyers through Kia Finance. 2026 K4, $36.95 due at signing. Discount includes $850 in lease cash. 10,000 miles per year. No security deposit. Plus tax, title, license, and admin. Fee expires 7/31.
Mom, what do you always say? There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer.
That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newstetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
Tune in to KTRS on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. for the Strategic Wealth Hour, hosted by experienced advisors Tom Haddican and Charlie Sanariva from Synergy Wealth Solutions. The Strategic Wealth Hour is a dynamic and engaging show designed to help listeners take control of their financial future with confidence by breaking down complex topics like retirement planning, wealth and investment management, and protection strategies you can actually use. That's the Strategic Wealth Hour on Sundays at 10 a.m. right here on the Big 550 550 KTRS.
The Big 550.
KTRS. St. Louis. This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, what are we doing here? Phone numbers are as follows. 314-931-5877. 314-931-5877. Text your comments, pithy and otherwise, to 84126. Scott in St. Louis, I know your number. I know what you're doing. I see you texting. He's been banned from the show
many times.
And now he's texting in. But here's the problem. He keeps texting in the same things from the daytime show and the nighttime show. So I've exposed him for the fraud that he is. And the reason why I banned him from the show is because he only talks anti-Trump. Not that I'm against anti-Trump or pro-Trump, but you gotta read the sports pages, read the comics, go see a movie, go something, go read a book, go bird watch,
broaden your horizons,
do something for my own mental health, so that you can come and talk about something other than politics. So that's why I gave him numerous options to talk about anything else, but he wouldn't do it. So there you go. All right. We've got the text line open, 84126, pithy and interesting and otherwise. Earlier today, I was telling you a story about Amendment 5 and Amendment 4. Amendment 5 is the income tax. The state wants to do away with our income tax and replace it with some other tax. And the Missouri voters are going to have to vote on this in August. So it's about 1 month from this week. So I was talking to some people in the know about this yesterday, and they said that the polling is neck and neck on Amendment 5. And I was reading some other interesting comments from people in rural Missouri. There's a lot of angst. There's a lot of angst with it. There's a lot of people who love it, and there's a lot of people who have a lot of angst with it. And it doesn't necessarily fall on traditional Republican, conservative, rural versus urban lines. It's sort of all over the place. And the idea is that they do away with the income tax, and then we would allow the legislature to tax us in different ways, whether it be a sales tax, whether it be a property tax, whether it would be some type of use tax. One of the things people are afraid of is that the special interests would get involved and say they put an extra penny on a gallon of gas to make up for the income tax. Well, the lobby for the convenience stores would get to Jefferson City and successfully lobby to put it on something else. So they wouldn't put it on the gas. They wouldn't put it on the gallon of gas. They'd put it on light bulbs. And then the light bulb, the powerful light bulb lobby, if there was one, would then somehow go down there and lobby against putting it on the light bulbs. And then they would put it on eggs or bacon or hamburgers or tires or hubcaps or who knows what. And so they're afraid that they're going to put the taxes on the one industry that doesn't have a lobbyist down in Jefferson City. So there's still a lot of talk about this Amendment 5, where they want to do away with the income tax. But as of now, and according to the latest polling, it's neck and neck. It's 50-50. It's whatever it was, 47-47 or 45-45 with others undecided. But it's pretty neck and neck. Europe has that value-added tax. Europe has that VAT tax where if you buy, right, value-added, it's like a sale. It's a national sales tax in a sense. So Europe has something like that. I find that kind of interesting. As for Amendment 4, That's the really confusing one. Not that the first one's not confusing, but this one's more confusing. Amendment 4, again, we'll get to both pros and cons. We have had the pros and cons on, but I'm having a hard time finding a pro and a con for Amendment 4. I don't know of any organized opposition or any organized proponents or opponents of Amendment 4, which is interesting. That's the one that the legislature put on the ballot. And they're going to make it, if this passes, they're going to make it harder for a constitutional amendment to pass when put on the ballot by the citizens of the state. It's going to be just as easy as it is today when the legislature puts something on the ballot for a constitutional amendment. Right? Today, constitutional amendment has to pass 50%. Once it passes 50%, it becomes a constitutional amendment in the state of Missouri. The legislature wants to keep that for themselves, but if it's citizen-led, they want to make it harder for the citizens to amend the Constitution. And apparently the polls for that are overwhelmingly against passing of Amendment 4. So the word seems to be out on Amendment 4 that it's a bit of a power grab by the legislature. I can't imagine anybody who would be in favor of making it harder for a citizen petition to pass. Why would you be in favor? Why would you make it harder for the citizens to pass an amendment? Why would you make it easier for the legislature to pass an amendment? I mean, that makes zero sense to me. But there are people who are in favor of reducing their own power. So go figure. 314-931-5877, 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. Chuck, line 1, good morning. You're the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, good morning, McGraw. Did you see Trump speak at the NATO meeting yesterday?
I only saw highlights of it.
Oh, my goodness. Article 25 has to be invoked. This man is delusional, feeble. He does not know where he is, who he's talking to. We're in a war of choice for profit that is enriching himself, his family, and his friends. And you know what we're going to get out of it? The same thing that we already had with the Obama administration, who didn't have to drop a bomb, didn't have to kill anybody. We didn't lose any troops. We didn't have any troops wounded. And we got a better deal with Obama than we did with Trump. And Trump, everybody told him it was not that he shouldn't do it. His advisors told him he shouldn't do it. The intelligence agencies told him that they did not have a nuclear weapon. They were not close to a nuclear weapon. And now he's saying that the nuclear stuff that's buried is fine where it's at. So the whole premise for going into Iran to remove that stuff is now gone because he's finally starting to realize just how hard it's going to be. And the only way to really get that done is to put boots on the ground, which he'll never be able to do. And it's just, he needs to be removed. He needs to be stopped. This is, it's just, it's crazy is what it is. It's absolutely crazy.
Chuck, do you feel better?
You know what? I actually do. Thank you for letting me vent, because it's been burning in me since I watched him yesterday on the TV. And what I don't understand, McGraw, is how anybody can sit there and watch that man speak and think that he is coherent and think that the country is in good hands with him in control.
Was this the one where he called, where he said Japan? What was the comment where he mixed up Japan and Iran?
Of Japan.
Yeah.
And then he's sitting there right next to Zelensky, and he's asking if anybody wants to have ask Putin a question.
So he all of a sudden he turned a little Joe Biden on us yesterday?
He went Joe Biden on steroids. Joe Biden. Let me put it this way: if Joe Biden would have done any of the gaffes that he did, it would have been front page news. It would have been on the propaganda loop on every station, and everybody would have been talking about it. But when Trump does it, see, and you know what, McGraw, that's the problem. We have normalized lying and misinformation. We have normalized wars of choice. You know, that preemptive wars where we're just going around attacking people to protect the profits of the military industrial complex and the oil companies, because we don't benefit from any of this. We didn't benefit from the Iraq war, the Afghanistan war. We didn't benefit from Venezuela. We didn't benefit from the attack on Iran. We're not benefiting from any of this. The only thing we're doing is we're using our tax dollars to protect the military-industrial complex and the oil companies, and those are tax dollars that could be built on our infrastructure to do things like get ready for these AI data centers so we could have, green power and energy. Once you build the infrastructure, the shit runs itself and generates power, and it brings your energy bills down. We could be doing stuff like this, moving floodwaters from, saturated areas to dry areas. Water is, we can make money off of it.
Well, all that, Chuck. I don't want you to pull a muscle or give yourself a aneurysm or something. Do you feel better at least?
Yes, I do, brother. I really do. And you know what? And God bless you for having this service where people can come and they can vent and they can let this stuff out because it is cathartic.
You and Donald thank me all the time for having been a place for both of you two to come and air your grievances. Chuck, thanks for checking in.
Have a great day, McGraw.
Mike, line 2. Mike, good morning. You're in the Big 550 KTRS.
Good morning. Regarding Amendment 5, I understand, and I might be wrong, but I thought I read that the income tax for Missouri is the largest income for the budget in Missouri. Now, to offset that, and this is only to give rich people a break, by the way, I am 78 years old. I have almost no income, so I pay almost nothing. But my gas tax is probably going to go equal to or more than Illinois at a minimum, and I understand they're going to be able to tax things like haircuts and beauty parlors and blah-bitty-blah-bitty because that's an immense amount of money that they have to make up. And so I don't think anybody is really pointing out how we're going to have to pay this tax back. That's it. By the way, that guy in front of me just wore me out.
Well, Mike, the other side would tell you that tax receipts are growing so fast in this state that if they do away with the income tax, they are hoping they're hoping they only need to raise a little bit, if any, new taxes, because the growth that's going on in the state will cover the loss of the income tax that's not being generated.
Well, Kansas tried this and almost went broke, I understand. So
that is true. That is true. And the other side would tell you they've learned from Kansas to not do it Kansas's way, and they're doing it a different way where they're going to roll back the taxes and then roll up the new taxes in a much more sort of runway fashion, so it's not all at once, so it will work much better than Kansas.
Well, I bought a soda yesterday for $1, and the tax on it was 13 cents.
Yes.
So I don't know how much more we can afford on these taxes like that. It's going to be out of control, and those guys are going to be the ones, politicians, unfortunately, are going to be the ones that direct how they're going to get this money.
There's no question, Mike, that there are going to be winners and losers when it comes to this income tax deal. There are going to be some people who come out ahead, and there are probably going to be some people who come out below. And yeah. So just like with the income tax, there are some people who come out ahead versus some people who come out without, right? Some people have to pay income tax, other people don't have to pay income tax on their income. Mike, thanks for the phone call. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
As always. The text line is alive and well. We'll get to some of those texts. 84126. I got my shows confused. 84126 is the text line. 84126. Also, the phones are open. 314-931-5877. We'll get to all of that coming up here in just a minute. Hey, let me tell you about BeckElderLaw.com. Matthew Furr is one of their well-respected and trusted lawyers, along with Matthew Furr is Jay Lennox, Carolyn Stolzer, and Rudy Beck. They've been doing this for well over 50 years. And protecting your assets is kind of important when it comes to elder care, senior care. Heck, just good down-home financial planning means that you got to have your finances in order, and what happens with wills and estates and everything else. That's important. And where do you go? Well, you want to go with somebody who's been doing this and well-respected and well-trusted within the industry. You want to go with somebody who oftentimes, how many times do you hear, oh, I set up a trust and I never funded the trust, right? Well, that doesn't happen with Beck Elder Law. They've helped me when my mother was on not doing so well, and we had to figure out whatever little finances she had. And then, of course, with the little one, right? You want to make sure she's protected. God forbid I get hit by a bus one day, right? You want to make sure all of that's buttoned up, and that's what they did for me, and that's what they can do for you. I, like so many others, put my head in the sand and said, well, I'll get to it. Well, that's not good financial planning. What's good financial planning is calling 636-946-7899 and setting up a meeting. Once you're on the books, then it's easy from there. They'll help you figure out what you need to do. They'll answer, and you'll direct them as to how you want it and when you want it, and they'll do it so it's legal and tax efficient and everything else. BeckElderLaw.com. BeckElderLaw.com. Captain Paul, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, there's road work on 170 North between 64 and Galleria Parkway with the right lane closed. 70 East is slow between Highway 47 in Warrenton and Wright City. 5570 West congested between 255 and Illinois 111. And 5570 East is reduced to one lane between the 64 Route 3 split and Exchange. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
A goal! It's time for a Car Shield Sportsplex 2026 Summer of Soccer Update. Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri and Ragazzi's.
Quarterfinals begin today in the World Cup, and our first matchup features maybe the team with the best odds to win it all right now, France, with their superstar Kylian Mbappe, but they play a Morocco team who's also been tough in this tournament. They'll get things started at 3 o'clock this afternoon. This Car Shield Sportsplex Summer of Soccer Update is presented by Royal Banks of Missouri and Ragazzi's. Also brought to you by Hackett Security, Neighbors Credit Union, Lordo's Diamonds, Means Financial Group, and Aldon Heating and Cooling on the Big 550.
This has been the Car Shield Sportsplex 2026 Summer of Soccer Update on the Talk of St. Louis, the Big 550 KTRS.
Lauren, can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
If your parents were buying a home tomorrow, would you represent them any differently than one of your clients?
Not a chance. And when I say that, I mean I treat my clients exactly like I'd treat my parents. Same honesty, same advice, same negotiation. Every client gets the same service.
Okay, second question. If one of your closest friends called you and said, I found a house, I'm in love with it, but you knew it was a bad decision, what would you do?
I've already done it before. I tell them no, don't buy it. My job isn't to sell people houses. It's to help them make good decisions. And sometimes that means they don't get to buy anything that day.
That's exactly why I've sent my friends and family to Lauren for years.
I mean, it's simple. Buying and selling a house, it's a big deal. And people deserve to have someone who's willing to tell them what they need to hear and not just what they want to hear.
Exactly. If you already know Lauren from listening every week, then you already know the kind of person she is. When it's time to make your move, give Lauren Risley Realty a call at 314-775-0684.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. We didn't get the nickname the St. Louis Corvette Kings by accident. We have specialized in Corvettes for over 30 years, and I need more. You have one for sale, especially C6, C7, and Classic Corvette. I'm an immediate buyer for very clean, low-mile examples. Hop on our site, MasterCarsInc.com, or give us a call to submit what you have. We'll even come to you if we have to. Owe money on it? Don't worry. We'll make the payoff and pay your equity right on the spot. This has been a fantastic Corvette summer, and I want to keep it rolling.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of Mastercars, Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MastercarsInc.com to get more details. That's MastercarsInc.com.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. Plus, when you schedule your appointment before July 12th, you'll receive an additional $250 off your entire purchase. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
Elevate your next event with STL Bartenders to Go, providing full bar packages, rental bar equipment, and bartender and server staffing. Book now and pay no sales tax with premium or bartender's choice bar packages. We'll get your party on. STLBartendersToGo.com.
Now back to McGraw, presented by London Chevrolet, the London Autoplex, and London.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, Chuck is right. Actually, Chuck is left. Also, why are we spending money trying to convict an individual who vandalized a reflecting pool by cutting a 350-foot slit in the liner that Donnie bragged earlier that the liner coating, that no knife would penetrate? Do people really believe this man vandalized and damaged this by his lonesome? Why don't you remind the listeners about Donnie's little presidential parade of vehicles over the reflecting pool? Yep. I'm the conservative who won't mention that. Please, can we talk about something like sweet babies and puppies? I'm so tired of people arguing against the other side. Let's see here. Everyone is supposed to pay tax on their income. The rich find it hard to get around those taxes. That's why they want to get rid of it. The wealthy are already gifted when they removed the capital gains tax. Missouri legislature is against democracy. Chuck is spot on. The tax proposal for Missouri has been done in other states to compare with. I'm not a Democrat. I hate both parties, but I understand how you Trumpers, and I know you're a Trumper, McGraw, can't seem to give any kind of criticism towards the orange. Oh, I can't read that stuff. That's, let's see here. Labor is against Amendment 4. We beat the so-called right to work in the past. The politicians in Jeff City can put it back on in amendments for making it extremely hard for people to repeal it. Thank you, Chuck. You make perfect sense. Much love to you, brother. Adolphus. John's on line one. John, good morning. You are on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, good morning, McGraw.
Good morning, John.
I never heard a guy like Dylan talk his way out of an election.
I mean, hold on a second. For those who weren't listening, Dylan Hassinger was the running for a singles license collector in the city of St. Louis. He's also anti-data centers. I had him on to sort of talk about both.
Yes, and what I don't understand is he doesn't want the progress at the Armory, but he'll have it other places downtown, which is fine. That's great. Have it everywhere.
Right.
Because I'm in favor of these things, only because of the fact that we can keep the intelligence here rather than going to China.
Right.
AI, that is.
Yeah.
But what happened to the $4.2 million that we gave Philip Halsey for the Armory in tax incentives?
Yeah.
And he was open for less than 2 years?
Yeah. and the guy wants the Armory to be sort of market-driven. Well, it was market-driven, and it failed.
Yeah, they couldn't market it for the young kids
Right.
without a drink.
I mean, I've been here 6 years. Nothing was in the Armory until they made it an entertainment center, and it lasted a year, and it imploded. So the market's had
patient, man.
20
I'll be
years
with
to
you.
do something with the Armory. And the market wants to do something with the Armory. It wants to turn it into a data center. But
exactly.
But we don't want that, so we'll wait for the next pitch.
And he wants to put apartments in the Goodwill building.
Yes.
For SLU.
Yes.
Well, SLU just announced they're laying people off because of lack of enrollment. So you're going to be building apartments for who?
Yeah, I didn't know the Murs Goodwill building, a.k.a. the famous bar factory or whatever that was, warehouse, was such a cool venue for lofts and condos and things. I mean, it's a warehouse for Murs Goodwill. I mean, it's you know, I don't get it. We can't have it at this famous building, the Armory, but we can have it at the railway loft buildings downtown?
Exactly.
I don't get it. It doesn't
I
make
don't
any
either,
sense to me.
McGraw.
No, I know.
That's our city politics.
God love you. And then, of course,
All right.
when you say, well, what about the tax revenue? I don't believe it. So, right? Oh, it's the greater St. Louis cabal that's coming. Oh, that's going to take care of all their friends. Oh, my goodness. Trust me, if Greater St. Louis could rent the railway loft, the railway building, they would. They just can't.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Crazy
We'll
stuff,
see what
John.
Montgomery County, how much money they make.
Yeah, I hear you. John, thanks for checking in, as always.
You're welcome. Bye.
Let's check Charlie's online, too. Charlie, good morning. You're on KTRS Radio.
Yeah, McGraw, thanks. I know you don't want to talk about gambling, but I just had a quick comment about the Powerball's decision to reach out to the UK and include them in the Powerball winnings. All that's going to do is breed animosity, because it's bad enough when somebody in California or Florida wins. People in the rest of the country go crazy because they figure they have enough money. So I wish that the Powerball people would look at the gambling situation in a different way and quit worrying about trying to get these $500 million jackpots. A few $1 million will change anybody's life. And the people that play Powerball, they'd be totally happy with that. I wish they would make it easier to win $4 or $5 million, and a lot more people would play it. And this ridiculous $500 million jackpot that you got to wait 4 months to get, and you're not going to get it anyway. I would much rather see more people win smaller amounts that are still going to change their life.
Well, first of all, Charlie, let me stop you there. First of all, I agree with you 7,000%. Okay, and I've said this my whole life. Instead of giving one person $1 billion, why don't you give 100 people or 1,000 people $1 million? I agree with you.
Yes.
But the experts will tell you that people will not play to win $1 million. I agree with you.
That's a lie.
It's
That's a
life.
lie.
It's life-changing money. I agree with you. It would change for the better a whole lot of people. And if you were, instead of giving one person $1 billion, you give 1,000 people $1 million, that would change 1,000 lives. I agree with you,
The
Charlie.
only people that are going to benefit from the $1 billion jackpots are the people at the banks and the investment firms and the people that already have plenty of money.
Charlie, I agree. But the Powerball people will tell you that people won't buy tickets. They only generate the massive ticket sales when people can dream about winning $500 million. The tickets.
That's a lie they put forward, and the old numbers rackets game that in my grandfather's day will tell you everybody played gambling way back then, even before the government took it over. The government puts in people that benefits the government, and that's what it comes down, because they wanted their cut. They wanted their big tax cut. And by the way, they're taking way too much of it anyway. The percentage that the government takes out of your Powerball winnings and all that is ridiculous. It's just insane.
Well, I wouldn't know because I didn't win. So.
Well, God bless you. You got a great show, and I love listening.
Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate it. Every study will tell you that people will not buy lottery tickets if they can only win $1 million. They won't. They won't spend $2 to win $1 million. They'll spend $2. They won't spend $2 to have better odds to win $1 million. They'd rather spend $2 on really, really awful odds to win $1 billion. I don't get it either. But that's what they tell you. Gretchen's on line 1. Gretchen, welcome to the Big 550 KTRS.
Hi, McGraw. I don't understand the connection between the data centers making the electricity and the power grids in our nation, which are outdated, and we have to worry about EMPs, the electromagnetic pulses. How does it relate to each other?
So the data centers use a lot of energy, and so they're worried that if the data centers use up a lot of energy, that's going to drive up everyone's energy bills.
Well, what about the electrical grid in our country? They say it's really outdated, and we could have an electromagnetic pulse, which could, shut it all down. The EMPs.
Yeah, are you saying like the electronic pulse that shut down the casinos in Ocean's 11, where they were able to bust the vault of money? I mean, what are you talking about here?
No, this is a theory that they call them EMPs, and somehow our adversaries, or even we, could do I don't know how it's done. I just don't understand. They're saying our electrical grid is really outdated.
That is true. 2, I don't know about some scientific electrical pulse, but I will tell you that our grid needs to be updated, even if we never build another data center again, which is ridiculous because data centers are the lifeblood of America now. Everyone's using them on their phones, on their tablets, where everyone's sucking data. We're all streaming, right? Cable doesn't need data centers. Streaming needs data centers, and so we'd rather have a data center with the streaming, so we have to create this. It is creating pressure on the electrical grid. Electricity bills have been going up for the last 20 years, and people for the last 20 years have said it's all about energy, whether it's wind or solar or nuclear or coal or whatever else. We need more energy, so we have to invest in our energy grid.
Okay, thank you. I mean, you explained it. I still don't understand it, but thank you.
Okay, all right. I don't know what you don't understand. I don't know anything about these electrical pulses that can, with one.
Well, it could shut down the electrical grid.
Yeah, I understand it, but I mean, you're talking a little like Mr. Freeze and his ray gun that can sort of point at a building and sort of shut down all the electricity. Yes, our electrical grid is susceptible to hackers. Our water supply is susceptible to hackers. That's all been well documented. They're apparently working feverishly to make it safer. I guess you just have to sort of put faith that the people who know what they're doing are doing what they're doing.
Okay, McGraw, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Gretchen. Ben's on line 2. Ben, you were on KTRS Radio.
Yeah, that's interesting, the electromagnetic pulse. Now, back in the 1800s, there was a naturally occurring phenomena right up that on the same lines. It was a solar flare, and it knocked out telegraph lines and other electrical infrastructure. That was a real thing that happened. Now, you were talking about the push, this amendment, this action to switch over to sales tax.
Yeah.
And the reasoning, the big push for it is what concerns me. Now, the former governor, before Mike Kehoe, he delivered his last
Parsons.
Parsons. He delivered his last State of the State address, and he, they do those annually.
Yeah.
And for the last two of them, I recall precisely, Mike Parsons given the update on the state of the state, and all things were fine. Everything's fine. We're growing. We have enough tax revenue to fund state operations, and now all of a sudden, new guy in office. Now all of a sudden things aren't so great. Same party, affiliation. But I find that interesting that now all of a sudden we've got this big problem. We need to change the tax system around in the state. I just find it disingenuous.
Here's my question for you, Ben. Why'd you say your name was Ben? You normally call up the show and say your name is Jim.
Well, you hung up on me the last time.
I did not. Did we hang up on you? I don't think we hung up on you. I think it might have short on time. No. Your phone just went dead last time. I think
that's correct.
You think so?
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, we don't normally hang up on people unless your name is Donald. So, hey Ben,
you let him go on pretty long.
Ben/Jim, thanks for checking in. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Text line. They say a nuke exploded in the atmosphere over an area will fry electronics. I would think so. My thumb is tired. Now McGraw is on board with data centers. Way to kill our natural waterways. Well, someone's got to kill them. Get off the internet. The proof of that statement is the Missouri Lottery has to increase the jackpot to get sales. I think that stat is wrong. They've never done the lottery like you are talking about. 1,000 people make millionaires if they tried it 1 or 2 months. I guarantee you that they're I don't know. I can't read that. I think Dylan is on the right track. Amendment 5 is the transfer of wealth from workers to the rich. The surplus we had is already gone because of the tax cuts that they've already implemented. Has tax proposal for Missouri been done in other states to compare? Oh, has the tax proposal? Kansas, but some people will point to Kansas. Others will say that's not apples to apples. What are we doing? You want to do another one here? Yeah. Let me do, what can I do? I'll do appliance discounters. I don't want to get caught. I'll do appliance discounters. Real quick. Get to the phones in a second, but first, appliance discounters. The summer sale's going on all summer long at Appliance Discounters. No worries. Appliance Discounters has got you covered for your next appliance. Come in and buy, and they'll deliver tomorrow. They can, great sales on everything, including 60% off select models. In addition to their factory warranties and rebates and sales prices, they've got a 50,000 square foot warehouse filled with name brand appliances. 6 area locations: Baldwin, South County, St. Charles, Maplewood, Afton, and the Earth City Distribution Center. Online is theappliancediscounters.com. At Appliance Discounters, they're the largest family-run appliance retailer in the region. The family, the largest locally owned, locally operated appliance retailer in the region, which means they pass those savings on to you. It also means that they're St. Louisans, so they know what's going on. They know that taking care of St. Louisans is the lifeblood of any small business. TheApplianceDiscounters.com. Drive right by the big box stores and go to TheApplianceDiscounters.com. Barbie, line 1, good morning. You're on KTRS Radio.
Oh, hey, good morning. I'm playing tennis, but it's a changeover. I was listening to you this morning. Who was the Supreme Court justice who got put in jail?
Well, Barbie, you're playing tennis. What's the score?
Well, I'm just hitting. We're just having fun. But my husband, I said,
Okay.
why don't you get some water? I'm sitting here. I'm not supposed to be on the phone at this club, but that's okay.
Okay. Well, Barbie, last night on the nighttime show, we had a guest on. Jesse Wegman wrote a book called The Lost Father. I think it was The Lost Father. It was, the guy's name was James Wilson. Was part of the original Supreme Court justices. He was the first Supreme Court justice to die in office. He was one of 6 at the time. They only had 6. And he went, while as a sitting Supreme Court justice, sat in debtor's prison 2 different times.
It's so interesting. My husband just came back with water. You want to say hi to my husband?
Sure.
Here's Ed. Oh, he goes, hi.
Hi, Ed.
Oh, we have a good time. We're
All right.
tennis, we're golf, we're multi-tank.
Well, hey, I don't care what you do.
Thank you so much.
Just as long as you keep it locked into the Big 550 KTRS, Barbie.
I do. I don't know how you do 4 hours. You're amazing. I want to say the compliment here. You are so good at it. You make it seem easy. But other people get on. They do a nice job. Very good. But then there's them. And then, whoa, way ahead is you. You honestly make it look easy. It's just like a great ice dancer. They make it look easy, but it isn't. Anyway, congrats.
Barbie, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
All right.
Very
Take it
sweet of
away.
you. Enjoy the tennis match with your husband while you're walking around with your transistor radio listening to the show. God love you.
No, I had to turn it off for a while.
Oh, okay. All right. Shame on you.
All right, I'm good. I picked up the phone now.
Barbie, get back to tennis. They're yelling at you over there at the club.
I know. I have a fan club.
Bye. Sweet woman. Do I have enough time for Altair Travel and Cruises? Yeah, Altair Travel and Cruises. Sherry was on the show the other day talking about Holland America. Holland America to Alaska. Everybody wants to go to Alaska, especially in this heat and this humidity. Still some spots for 2026, but they're really gearing up for 2027. Blink your eyes, it'll be next summer. You want to go to Alaska? A little land cruise, a little land and sea cruise? You want to go see the sights? You want to see the animals? You want to go see the beauty, the pageantry? You want to take a helicopter to a glacier? You want to take a train up the Yukon? There's all sorts of things you can do. All you need to do is reach out to Altair Travel and Cruises. Holland America will get you there. It's a beautiful, beautiful part of the world. No doubt about it. You want to go salmon fishing in Alaska? You can do that too. Anything. But first you have to get there. And how do you get there? You let Altair Travel and Cruises help you with Holland America. 314-968-9600. 314-968-9600. If you go online and you do it yourself, you ain't going to get the deals, and you're not going to get the first-class treatment you get when it's Altair Travel, because they know the ins and the outs and the ups and the downs and the things to avoid and the things to do. So don't go to the Googles. Go to Altair Travel and Cruises right there on Brentwood Boulevard, right across the street from that side street from O.B. Clark's. Altair Travel or altairtravel.com.
Hi, Matt Kearns, president of STL Fringe. This is our 15th anniversary, and the lineup this year is spectacular. Join me for the celebration August 3rd through 9th at STL Fringe Fest 26 in the beautiful Grand Center Arts District. There you will experience concerts, plays, puppetry, musicals, and even a little burlesque. Perfect for those summer bachelorette parties. Grab passes and tickets today, and I'll see you at the Fringe, stlfringe.org. Use promo code BIG550 at the website.
Are you ready to begin your home purchase journey in 2026? The Royal Banks of Missouri Mortgage Team is here to help you every step of the way. Their local lenders offer competitive rates and personalized support so you can focus on creating the space of your dreams. Discover how Royal Banks of Missouri can partner with you to unlock the door to your new home. Call 314-212-1500 to learn how they can help find the right home loan for you. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hi, it's Julie Buck. You know, many people know Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital for its inpatient services, but its outpatient therapy program is also helping children thrive. Specializing in care for children with complex medical needs, Rankin Jordan offers physical, occupational, speech, and aquatic therapy in a welcoming, fun environment. The hospital is also home to the region's only warm water pediatric therapy pool, and parents can get in too. To find out more, talk to your doctor or visit rankinjordan.org.
Why leave for vacation when your favorite destination could be your own backyard? I'm Jill Farmer for Patriot Build Sunrooms. Transform your deck or patio into the perfect place to relax and make memories with a Patriot sunroom, screen room, patio cover, power shades, outdoor kitchen, or any idea you can come up with. Patriot's designers and craftsmen have helped over 10,000 homeowners create stunning backyard living spaces. Save thousands with a free insulated roof upgrade. Call today for your free design consultation, 314-822-3232 or patriotbuildsstl.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Now back to McGraw, presented by London Chevrolet, the London Autoplex, and London.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Text lines coming in like no one's business. I'm with the Laborers Union of North America, and we are completely no on 4. If we allow them to take the people's voice, we would be a right-to-work state right now here in Missouri, but we fought and changed that. Here's another one. I thought Missouri already had a budget shortfall, and they want to cut more taxes. What a joke. Have you asked anyone from the Show Me Institute about their feelings on Amendment 4? No, I haven't. They've been on about Amendment 5, but not on Amendment 4. Here's one, 618. What happened to the good-looking girl Callista on Channel 2 Morning News? It was a great way to start your day. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know what happened to Callista Matrista. Was that Callista Matristan?
That was not her name.
Callista Matrista? Was that her name? Yeah, I don't know.
But wait, she's not been on for weeks.
She's not been on for weeks. I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know. Hey, I need a hero. Bonnie Tyler passed away. What was that one?
Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Total Eclipse of the Heart. Yeah. Nothing's sacred around here, and no one's getting out of this thing alive. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for putting up with me. The comedy stylings of Frank Cusimano and Jill Farmer next on KTRS.
The Frank and Jill Show.
Jill Farmer on the next Frank and Jill Show. Jeff Drew is in to tell us what's happening in our town. Always a fun conversation. Plus,